What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We're gonna talk about it. But before we talk about it, do me a favor. Hit that like, and if you new, hit that subscribe. It's free to you, but it means a lot to me. It's three in the building. I appreciate y'all, whoever it is. I didn't think nobody was gonna be on. Uh, I was sitting back watching the fights, and I was supposed to do the brotherhood segment tonight, but I forgot it was fights coming on. People came through, so uh, I wanted that to be a powerful build, so I didn't want to rush it or nothing. Nephew, what up? Kim, what up? Perp, what up? Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. But I did want to talk about this because I was listening to a previous video of mine, and everything I talk about is mainly based around me, and I hope the things that work for me that people can actually utilize. Can y'all hear me? For some reason, okay, there we go. Um, and I hope people can utilize it and help them. I know everything ain't for everybody, but it still would be irresponsible for me to withhold information or knowledge that may help someone. So that's why I spit what I spit. Um, and one of the things, growing up uh, under the conditions and circumstances that I grew up in, a lot of times you look at other people and uh, you wish you was them. And I did that. I did that for a large portion of my life, was comparing myself to other people and various things. Even doing martial arts, I used to compare myself. But when I got older, I realized that actually limited me because a lot of the people who I compared myself to, I'm trying to say it without sounding arrogant. Realist, what up, brother? But a lot of people, I blew past them. I advanced past them. And then I was looking for another person. And I realized, like, uh, I only limit myself comparing myself to other people because I don't even truly know what's in that person's head and if they're willing to push themselves or push the boundaries of what they know or think they're capable of as much as I'm willing to push myself. So then I realized like the only person who can actually give me the competition that I needed was myself. And the fact like I just in interacting with people have people say, "Oh, you think you're better than me?" No, I don't think I'm better than no one. But I tell you what, I make sure uh, that I'm above average, beyond average. I make sure that I push myself uh, in anything that I do, not to be better than anyone else, but to be the best version of myself. And in doing that, a lot of times I become better than people. It's not the fact that I'm even looking at it trying to be better than anyone. It's just the fact that some of us we have no limits, and once we realize that, um, we no longer um, concern ourselves with it. I guess. Um, James, what's up? What's up, James? Nah, ain't nobody come at me. Nah, I was just I do like martial arts uh, and I got to work out in and get that passion, that desire, that umph, and I ain't did it in 2 years, because of my condition. So now it was I was listening to the playback, and I just want people to know it's always better to focus on yourself than compare yourself to anybody. There's no point in comparing yourself to no one. It doesn't benefit you. I mean, you can look at people and understand anything they achieved. You can too. They just showing you that it can be done. Other than that, focus on you, work on you. The more time you work on you, the less time you have looking at other people's flaws. You know, um, That's why I don't judge no one. No point. If a person is flawed, then that's their flaws they have to fix. But the time that I can use, pointing out other people's flaws is time that I can use on myself fixing mine. You know, yeah, it's too much of people looking at other people. You know, people so quick to criticize someone else for their misfortune. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes people are born um, with messed up circumstances. Sometimes, it's their own doing. Unless you know their story, you never know. But people focus on other people too much. They focus on people too much, and when you do that, you take the focus off yourself. And it's easy to sit here and point out other people's flaws, um, but like I said, that time should be utilized to fix yours. Because unless you perfect, that's what you should be doing. It's a Bible verse: "Those without sins, cast the first stone." I just talk about stoning Mary. Jesus told them, "Those without sin, cast the first stone." And so many people who adhere to that text forget that, you know. And what they do is point out other people's flaws. And just my opinion, a lot of times when people focus on that, uh, is to make themselves feel better about theirs, So, um, let's try to be better than we were yesterday. Yeah, and that's fact. That's fact, Neffy. That's all we can. I hope you don't mind me calling you Nefertiti, Neffy. Uh, it just sounds sweet, Neffy. But yeah, that's absolutely fact. That's all we can do. That's all we should do, honestly. Like I said, no one's. Uh, we say no one's perfect, uh, but we still insist to point out the imperfections of other people instead of working on our own imperfections. Imagine if everyone um, focused solely on their own imperfections. Imagine that. Not even everyone. Imagine if 50% of the world did that. Imagine if 50% of the world focused on their own issues and problems. I'm trying to fix that. People get along much more. They'd be too busy to fight. They'd be working on themselves. Yeah, I found peace. I found peace working on myself, and it's something that you know, like Nephi said, it's something that you do every day. You try to be a better version tomorrow than you was yesterday. That's why I do self reflection. All these tools I tell people. I hope you at least try them. You never know what's for you until you try it. I hope you at least try them. Because self reflection, personal accountability. I'm really high on those two things, especially when I had the desire to change. First, it was just a desire to change, and then when I start seeing the changes, it became something else. I had a understanding that uh, I was my only, I was my own limitation. I limited myself. The only boundaries that I have is the ones I set. The only thing that was actually stopping me was me. No matter what others try to do or attempt to do, um, unless they physically hold me down, you can't do it. And then you try that. I done built myself up. Whatever you desire in life, become that. Become worthy of it. That's the concept that I have. But what it actually is matching the frequency of what you desire. If you want to be a businessman, you got to learn business. Put yourself around business people. Whatever particular field, put yourself around and see what it takes to get to that level, to achieve that. That's what you have to do. It's not just something that's going to be given to you. It's not something that you can imagine. You have to put the work in. You think it to do it. That's how manifestation works. People think if I think about it hard enough, it'll come to me. No, what comes to you is the path, and you got to take the steps down that path. If you don't take those steps, then Nate, what's up, bro? If you don't take them steps, you can never reach it. You can think about it and you can see it, but you'll never reach it unless you take the steps. And it's not fun, but it's rewarding. You know, I'm stealing this from Sis Letitia's the microwavable society. People want instant gratification, but the gratification is actually within the journey. It's the sweat, the tears, the blood that you shed on the way to what you're trying to accomplish. And once you accomplish it, you look back and you realize what you've been through, how hard it was, how grueling it was. And that's what makes it even more satisfying. It's not a lot of people who push themselves to the ultimate limit. And the ones who do, they appreciate the journey. They don't want the easy road. They like the hard road because that's where all the lessons are. You don't learn the lessons at the end of the book, you learn the lessons in the middle of it. Hey, mama. Yeah, all the lessons are in the middle of the book. In the middle of the book would be the journey, right? Yeah. It's good to think and believe. It's good. Yeah, that's a start. That's how you get the idea of becoming. But to be, I am, those famous words. I am. To be, I am, is the path. You got to go through. You got to put the work in, and that's the one thing I couldn't. I wasn't always the fastest, the strongest, not always the smartest. So I had to be the one willing to outwork everyone. That was my path. I just outworked everyone. Wasn't the fact that I was better than people in any competition, if it was sports or martial arts. It wasn't the fact that I was better. It was the fact that I was going to outwork you. Always been like that. Uh, I wanted to be a pitcher, playing baseball. And all these dudes, they've been doing it. I didn't start off as a pitcher. I started off as a shortstop. So the guys, they've been pitching for years. So, I wanted to be in a starting rotation. So even after practice, I stayed for an hour or two, went home. I'm in the backyard throwing balls, trying to learn how to throw a curveball, how to throw a slider. All these guys they had years of experience doing it. I had to learn it. I had to outwork them. While they was in the house playing the game, I was outside in the backyard slamming the ball against the back of the fence. Same thing for basketball. I mean, I just thought I worked everyone. I knew the more and more I practiced, I probably wasn't gifted. I didn't get it right away, but I know if repetition. I believed in repetition. I believe in repetition now. It's not even a belief. I know the more I do things, the better I become at it. And that's um, especially with fixing myself or becoming what I wanted to be. Humility. It's not something that I say I have. It's something that I practice. And every opportunity given to me, I practice it. Y'all got to see it a couple times. Average person probably would have blew on a person. I got upset or let things upset them. But it's the humility. I think of humility. I don't know if y'all familiar with the martial art Aikido. Aikido is when you use someone else's force or momentum against them. You use their momentum of their punch or their kick, uh, more like a matador. You redirect that energy, and it leaves openings. And that's how I look at humility. I use it as a form of keto. I use those same principles. It helps me a lot, especially when you're interacting with a hostile person. I recognize it first. First person is hostile. Why you're hostile? You're in your emotion. Why? Is it something I said? Okay, if it's something I said, well, let's figure it out. You know, my intention is not to incite no one, upset no one. It's never my intention. We have to be content with ourselves first before we can anything else, man. The friendship relate exactly. Uh, I was listening to D Truth earlier, and Eve James was on the podcast, and she said before you can be with someone else, they were talking about like relationships, you know, and she said before you can be with anyone else, you have to be okay by your first. I mean, by yourself. You have to first be okay with being by yourself, and that's fact. Uh, so many times uh, I just feel people look for other people's assistance to fix them. You know, sometimes you can do that. A lot of times, I don't believe you can. I believe it's like a band aid and temporary because it's something outside trying to fix something that's on the inside. And to fix what's on the inside is truly only one maintenance, man. People can assist you, give you tools. You can go to a therapist and they can make you aware of things, but it's still up to you to choose to fix it or not. It's still up to you. Um, like I said in the past, what helped me was learning spirituality in these different religions, different philosophies. I can't even equate it to one thing because it wasn't just the study and the practice of religious and spiritual systems. It wasn't um, the philosophies or the philosophers I studied. Uh, it was ultimately up to me to determine if any of these things or these tools will work, and they did. That's why I say I always offer tools because what works for me may not work for you. And that's the thing too. Um, that's that right there is and that's so many people do things and not aware of why they do it or what they're doing. And when people seek validation, when they need other people to confirm things, um, they leave themselves very vulnerable. You know? They leave themselves because you could be manipulated by that. The only reason I'm saying that because I know, like, yeah, it's easy to manipulate someone who's seeking validation, and so many people want people to agree with everything they say, need people to agree with them. Um, that right there, and I don't believe a lot of people are aware of what's going on. I told someone like, bro, you need validation, learn behavior, yeah. No, I don't need validation, but you seeking it. You keep like even if something happened between two people, right? If I go through something with someone, I don't need no one to take my side. I don't want anyone to take my side because first of all, the situation is between me and this person. Your encounter or interaction with that person may be different. So why would I want you to take my side? Uh, you can actually have an interaction with this person and be prosperous with it. Just because me and this person interaction wasn't pleasant, don't mean the next person, you know. And that's just sometimes, sometimes people are just who they are, and everyone will get the same result interacting with them. But a lot of times that's not true, you know. Um, so I never ever want people to take my side when I'm going through something with someone or have a bad interaction because like I said that's just my interaction, and like I said I don't need validation for nothing I do. um, I used to, I used to want to feel um, that I was doing the right thing. I used to want to other people to see me doing the right thing. That's how I used to be. But the more aware I became of myself, the more when I began to know myself, not believe in myself. It's levels, it's good. Like I said, I don't knock where no one is in life. 'Cause some people older than me, that's not um, far as information understanding. Even though they older, they might not have the information or understanding that I have at my age. There's people younger than me have more than me. I met them. Just more conscious. There's levels to everything. Uh, I've learned that the more I know myself, the less I needed validation from anyone. Now I don't need it. I just know. The same things that I do when people watching me is the same things I do when people not watching me. Uh, It's good. It's always good when people notice or see things, and always good. Um, but if that's what you need, or if that's why you're doing things, you lost. If you only do these things when people looking, then that's an act. You're acting. That's not who you are. You know. Um, like I said, I never came on here portraying to be some teacher or anything like that. Can I teach? I know I can. I taught self defense, so I know I can teach. But that's not my goal. Not with this page. Um, it's to share. You know. And like I said, it's not the fact that I feel like I'm better than anyone. It's the fact that I built myself to be above average. That's just how I built myself. So I don't care if I'm better than anyone. That doesn't matter to me. What matters is I'm becoming a better version, not just for me, but for my son, for my daughter, for my wife, for my mother, for the people around me. I want to be of value. That's one of my whys. As a man, I want to be of value. I don't want to be a hindrance. Now while I got my youth, maybe when I get older, then then I want everybody to take care of me. But right now, nah, I want to be a value. I want to be an asset. You know, I want to be. That's my why. So I study. So I research. So I put in the work that I do. Um, is to be an asset. Because if I'm not an asset, what am I? And I think that's something we all can strive for. You know, why be around people if you can't add to them? Um, because if you're not adding, then you're subtracting. Like if we all living in a house, there's 9 of us, right? And we all splitting the bills, but I'm the only one that ain't got a job. How am I gonna split the bills? How am I be an asset to the group? You know, this is something that I'm conscious of. Something we all should be conscious of. We should be an addition, never a subtraction. And everything. I don't know how I want to put it. Yeah, I know I'm careful with my words. One of my babies be critiquing me, and it's fun. She keep me on my toes. Um, that's a complimentary piece, right? Because I got people around me who want they know I have a standard and they won't allow me to be average at any time and anything I do. They won't allow me because I won't allow them. The standards we hold for one another. I wouldn't even say it's not even an expectation. It's beyond that. We push each other. We all should do that. We don't have to contend with one another. Even when people say healthy competition, I don't believe in any competition besides competing with myself. When it comes to other people, I understand, like in sports or even then, um, Even then, when I was playing sports, it wasn't the fact that the other team was competition to me. They were just in my way. That's how I looked at it. That might be a little arrogant. You are in my way, and if I have to go through you to be great, that's what I'm gonna do. But no, you're not competition to me. You're in my way. And that's how I looked at everybody and everything. When I had to compete with it, they was just in my way of becoming great. Wasn't competition. I already didn't put the work in. Now it's game time. Now you're on my way. You stalling me, and I think that's why I had the veracity. And I played especially football. Like my mom is in the chat. One game I played defense end. I'm 6 foot. I was like 235, so I was one of the smaller linemen in high school. One game, I knocked out two quarterbacks. I broke one of the quarter. I didn't. My intention was to hurt everybody. I'm not gonna lie to you, um, but I hurt the quarterback, the first string, second string quarterback. I knocked the running back out the game. Um, the left tackle, um, I knocked him out the game. I tried to run through their team. I injured like six people that game. And the coach, at the end of the game, he told my coach, like, you just got a little pit bull. Like, I don't know what's wrong with that boy, what y'all feeding him, what y'all doing to him. He just played with anger. And when coach asked me, because that was my first year. I had transferred from the school. That was my first year playing with him. And he said, he told me what the coach said. He said, why do you play like that? Why you practice like that? I said, because everybody in my way. They just in my way. And I want them out my way. And so even then, I didn't feel like I was competing with nobody. It just felt like they was in my way. So, um, hey, what up, Ryder? What up, Rach? Anita, appreciate you, sis. Hey, how many times? Hey, I got benched one time because I was playing pitcher. They hit the ball. I got so mad that he hit the ball. I literally ran into the outfield to make the catch. I didn't want nobody else to touch it. Just because he hit the ball, I pitched. I was so pissed. The coach was like, "That's not even play your position. You out of position." I'm like, "Look, man, he wasn't supposed to touch that ball." So I went and got it. I wanted to get the out. I didn't want nobody else to get it but me. So but that's something I'm aware I was born with. You know, just that fire, that desire, and sometimes due to circumstances, I know sometimes that fire, I believe, is in everybody. Just some people need to be lit. You know, some people aren't born with their fire ignited. And sometimes it just need to be lit. And there's various ways to do it. Some people you got to be gentle and lighted. Some people you got to be aggressive and lighted. But I believe everyone has it. That's just my own personal belief. And that belief might not be true. Yeah, but being the best version of yourself has so many different benefits to it because not only can it help you, like help people around you, especially people who look up to you. You know, like with my condition, my son don't know I can't see. You know, um, so he probably won't understand that until he older. You know, but right now I'm a super dad to him because even that don't stop me or slow me down. And when he get older and recognize, you know, I want him to know, um, even a physical limitation only limits you if you allow it. The only time my situation limits me is when I choose to allow it. Other than that, I just adapt to it, find ways to make things happen. Um, There should never be a competition with other people. It's okay. Congratulate the next person. That's not a, that's a lot of people problems these days. Yeah, jealousy of another person, don't want to see the next person. And see, I don't have people who, especially, you know, where I get the most hate from the people who have more material things. It could be money or cars or anything. Usually, it's people who have more than me are the most jealous because none of that shit matter to me. I don't care what another person got. You know, people can't use that to make me feel bad about myself. What they got, that's for you. You know, and it's nice, but we desire two totally different things. I desire the things I desire. Like when people say successful, you know, the things I desire, I already have, and I'm maintaining them. You know, most people want to be rich and stuff. That stuff is nice to me. You know, um, that's not what I want. Exactly what I want, I set out and I got it, and I'm maintaining it now. I'm enjoying it. You know, and it was my family. You know, it was having my kids, being the father that I'm becoming. You know, that's my desire. It wasn't a car, it wasn't a house, it wasn't a bank account. It was to have the experience that I'm having with my children. That's the number one thing I desired. And before I even achieved that, I built myself up, so I can once I obtain it, I can enjoy it. Unfortunately, you know, things happen for a reason too. Um, because if I didn't lose my sight, I wouldn't have what I have. I wouldn't be in a position to uh, enjoy my kids the way I am. You know, I wouldn't. So that's why I don't get down on that. I don't get upset. I don't get mad. Um, okay, is everything happens for a reason, and I understand the reason this happened to me, and I'm at peace with it. You know, um, that's how you look at it. Yeah, that's all we can do, man. Is keep adapting and keep getting better. You know, he wake up going crazy again. My son woke up acting like he was fighting Mike Tyson in his sleep. My wife like, go check on him. Like, nah, he throwing haymakers. I'm straight. He gonna catch me on my blind side. I ain't gonna see it coming. Man, my son is so heavy handed at the age of 3. You don't understand. Uh, my wife, she don't like. He'd be a dog MMA fighter. Uh, she don't want him to do it. So, uh, but he got a hell of a haymaker, and his form is so. Oh man, and at 3 is crazy. Looking at the way his back is built, I was telling my wife yesterday, like he built like me. Hey, realist, that was the name of my personal training company. No competition because you're your only competition. But name of my training company, no competition. Yes, because what God has for us, no man can take away. Yep, and no one can stop it, and they can't. You know, they can throw stuff. They can throw stuff in your way to try to distract you, but ultimately, even that, is still a choice. You allowing it to, um, it's still your choice. The things that other people. What's wrong with them? Hold on 1 second. I go get my boy.
Apologies, man. My son woke up and having
Okay, yeah, he just woke up having a temper tantrum, so I'm gonna let him work that out. Oh man, I love my kids, man. That's one of the greatest gifts ever is being a dad for me. Um, yeah, but yeah, a pause break, right, right. Uh, take a natural pause, but definitely, and even that, you know, um, I'm trying to find ways to become a better dad. And every day gives you an opportunity to explore. With every situation. A lot of people look at things as obstacles. People look at things as um, trials and tribulations. I just see it as an opportunity, an opportunity to gauge myself and to learn. You know, like I said, even with being humble, you know, I can sit here and say I'm a humble man, but if I never had to display it or use it, am I truly humble? So when the opportunity arises, why not use it for what it is? Is to see how humble I am, to see how far I came and how far I got to go. You know, same thing when if I want to say I'm a compassionate person. Am I compassionate when people not looking, or am I only compassionate when the cameras are on? You Am I doing these things in the dark or only doing it in the light? Just like having faith in God. So many people say they got faith in God, but when something bad happens, first thing they ask is, God, why? Why me? Why not you? You the one said you had faith in him. So now is an opportunity to show how much faith. So instead of questioning why things happen, figure out why it happened. It might have been something you did, might have been something someone else did that you allowed. It could have just been totally out of your hands. But instead of asking God if you can figure it out, uh, there's a lesson in that. Yeah, and I'm learning that too. We learn as we go, you know. And every experience is different. My kids ain't like no other kids. So, uh, but you still listen to advice. Use what you can, and that's the thing too. Like when let me give this. You know, even when somebody's giving you criticism, always take what you can use and don't worry about the rest of it. Even when people give you criticism, uh, I think sometimes we get hung up on what other people say or do instead of utilizing what's useful and discarding the rest. Uh, that's why I don't mind criticism. I really don't mind constructive criticism because if you see me doing something wrong and you can give me a way to do it right, I'm all for it. Uh, I like to see things like that. You only being in other people's eyes, you're putting on a mat. Yes, definitely. Oh, give me one more second. Let me calm my son down. Okay, my bad. My bad. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. I had to calm the little beast down. It takes a beast to calm a little beast down. Oh, I didn't know I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just yeah, thing one was he woke up, I don't know, he was having a bad dream or something. So
I
uh,
know. I know he only responds to you at times, so I say we give you a minute to get him situated. But I can only pop up for a minute. I'm trying to get my stuff together for
Oh no, I appreciate it. Um, but yeah, that's being I've always been like that. Always been my greatest competition. And most of life, I get in my own way. Sometimes even now, um, I'm learning to get out my own way, and that's a process. 'Cause the older I get, the different experience that I get in life gives me different opportunities to practice these things that we talk about all the time, like humility and um, compassion, tolerance, understanding. Um, the more I look into the world, I begin to understand why things are the way they are. There's a lot of distractions that keep us from working on ourselves. Keep us focused on the outer things like work, school. Um, and we begin to focus on those things and forget to work on ourselves. What did I do?
And I think that's one of the most important things in life that people set aside or put everything else in front of is working on themselves. That's where I feel that everything starts. You gotta learn yourself, be yourself, you know, do yourself before you can invite anybody else in and try to, help them to better themselves. That's what I had to do years ago. Sit back and look at me, learn me, love me, learn what I wanted to do in life. And then I was able to come out and, you know, do for my kids, help everyone else. But I had to do me first. I had to get my mindset right. Not saying I ignored everybody else, but it's a mental state, physical as well. Doing things to get your mind and body in sync, if that makes sense.
Definitely. 'Cause and that's a constant process that we constantly should be working on. What I've heard, you don't need anyone to be up there with you because you are very. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But you know what? I do like people up here, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I don't. There's a couple podcasts ago. 22 Ronin. I say it all the time, but I think I say it in a way that people don't truly grasp it. But my interactions with people, even in a comment, I'm constantly analyzing and learning. So when people come up and engage in dialogue with me, it's a learning process. I use that opportunity as learning, and like I said, a lot of these topics, there's a lot of great thinkers out there, um, and with their experience and their perspective, that's just more information I can learn. And because I can't go out and experience everything, I can't have every experience in life. I can't read every book. So this is my way of gaining information and knowledge without uh, implementing it myself or going to seek it myself is through the wisdom of other people's experience. Like I said, what I feel is useful, I always take. The things I don't, I discard. So yeah, I created this platform so people can come up and interact and have conversations because even sharing the information, the tools, especially like when Cat Daddy come up, you will see we say the same thing in a different way, and different people resonate with it. Uh, Kalani, what up, bro? James, what up? I don't know if I said what up, James. If I didn't, I apologize. Nate, that's my bro. But yeah, I enjoy dialect conversations with people, especially thinkers, people who. That's why I say like when people have opposite opinions of me, though that be is a euphoria I get from it. I don't like people look at it as confrontation. I don't look at it as a confrontation. I look at it as an opportunity to either learn something new, fix what was wrong, or correct the way I was thinking, or just sharpen. It makes me dig deeper into the information because a lot of times with the information is just surface level that I'm spitting. Uh, I try to give the information in a way that anybody can hear it and understand it. But when people come up and I have to get more detailed, like I said, it's a euphoria. You can say I get off on
I just want to say thank
it.
you, Nefertiti, for supporting my son. And it's very true. He can get up here and talk all day by himself. I just came up here to try to give him a break so he can help my grandson.
And
But
you
I'm
know,
going to pop down because I got stuff to do and I don't want y'all to hear a lot of commotion, but I'm still here in the chat. But hi to all. Nate the Great, good to see you here.
hey,
Kalani, good to see you.
hey, do me a
And
favor, stay up here 1 second. I gotta get him rested. Just stay up one more second and build with me. I gotta get him situated. Um, but yeah, definitely. Conversations, sharing ideologies.
okay,
Hey,
somebody need to
Trey, what
join
up?
me because I don't know how to keep up with your conversations.
No,
I
you
need
good. You
somebody
good.
to. I'm not much of a talker. I need an initiator.
I
I
was
was
about to
about to
say
say
I get
I
that
get
from
that from
pops.
pops.
We've been able to talk all day.
Right now, if you get me on a good subject, then I can talk. I'm kind of half asleep right now, so I'm not putting my words together to spark up a conversation. So if there's anybody else out there that want to join, Kalani, get up here. Somebody feel free to come and join.
He turns down a little bit.
Nate, where you at? Come up here and help your girl. Hey, Tay. Good to see you, baby.
Yeah, my little monster. I knew he was gonna wake up. He went to sleep too early. He, he was already wrestling with me. He uh he died AIDS today.
Oh, did
Baby
he?
get mad. Yeah, 'cause I told her I don't do all that. But I ain't go. I don't. I'm not teaching them about no Easter bunny, but
Right.
I let them partake in the festivities and yeah. I'm gonna just teach them facts. You know. But I don't even want to talk about that. But back to being this version of yourself. Like, like I believe in, I don't believe in competition uh, when it comes to other people. I just feel like, we gotta go night night. Come on. I know. Go night night. Come on. No, it's night night time. I know. I know. Come on. I know, baby. I know. It's night night time. Okay. Go find it then. Go find it. If it's over there, you gotta go in with mommy, and I gotta go back in here. If you want me to come in here, it's nighttime. If not, you gotta go lay with mommy. Okay? Okay? If you want to watch TV, you gotta go over there with mommy, and I'm going back in the kitchen. If you want daddy to stay here, you gotta go night night time. But we gotta get up. Remember, we're gonna ride the bike tomorrow. So let's go to sleep so daddy can fix your bike, and we ride the bike tomorrow. Okay? You good? Yeah, this my little monster. I created a monster. It's all right. Right. I'm gonna spoil him for a bit. But he worked for everything. But everything I spoil them with. Um, like
Yes,
even
you do.
today, like we went to Target to get some groceries for the roast, and when we go across the street, he always look out for me. So it was a car coming, and he like pushed me back and was waving the car to stop, and I'm looking like, what is gonna do? Like, no, my daddy can't see. Let me get past. I know, but definitely, I just feel like it's levels to everything, and it takes time. Um, everything you should you should do it the right way. And a lot of times to do things the right way, it takes time, and I think people get lost because they want that instant gratification. They want things to happen right away. And like I said, the time it takes to build things, that's not only how you understand that the foundation of what you're building is solidified, but you have the opportunity to learn what works and what don't work. Um, because a lot of times, just taking it from a martial arts standpoint, uh, what was it? Uh-oh, the financial guru himself. What up, brother?
Salute, salute, salute. One love. Salute to you, Miss Diva RN. Call me up here. She says, Kalani, come up here. Yes, ma'am.
That's the bro. That's the bro. What up?
Right. And help a sister out.
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here. How y'all doing this evening? Hey, happy Easter weekend to you and the family. Word. Happy Easter, man, to y'all. I don't know how y'all celebrate it or whatever, but it's pretty special around my house.
That's what's
Not,
up, bro.
not the food.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. This is a manifestation season. That's how, you know, that's how we, I guess, celebrate or pay homage to it.
That's what's up.
This season, is bringing is the rebirth. Just like Christ rose on the third day. Um, in the physical, like if you think about it, when I say manifestation, um, this is when the grass get greener, the trees get fuller. It's like a rebirth of the season.
Uh, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just getting ready to say that. It's a rebirth.
Yeah. Dave, what up, brother? So this is a special, uh, it's a special season for us also. And shout out to all the Christian because this is a special season for Christianity too. The death and resurrection of Christ. Always pay homage. I always pay homage to all religions and beliefs. That's just part of what I practice the 42 ideas of my, and one of those ideas is to pay homage to all altars, meaning respect all religions. So, definitely, definitely. Y'all still there?
Yeah, I'm right here, man. That was well said.
Yeah. And I think that's how we build too. Even though we may have different understandings and different
Mhm.
concepts, that don't mean I have to disrespect yours. I mean, you
Right.
have to disrespect mine. I mean, if anything, we can learn and benefit from one another's differences. So that's how I look at it. I always try to, like I say, either help or try not to hurt.
That's right. I look at it as like this is a reflective time. You know what I'm saying? A time to like remember the good things, remember what you know what you're grateful for, that sort of thing. What's really important, what your priorities are. That's what I think about like during this time right here. Salute to the chat, man. Salute to everybody in the building, man. One love.
Definitely,
Hey,
I
David
appreciate
the
it.
voice. David the voice.
Yeah,
Neftiti.
that, yeah,
Realist.
I can't wait to get Nefertiti up there one day. I think that'll
That's
be a
what's
good
up.
build.
That's,
Always a good build when Dave gets the link. Everybody in the chat. That's why I appreciate my chat because the people
hmm
who come over here, um, they come over, they thinkers, you know. They don't let most nobody in the chat, I believe, let no one think for them. Everybody has their own opinions and thoughts, and that's the special thing because, like I said, not only do I do this to share information, but to receive it. So that's why I appreciate everybody in the chat.
that's right. Hey, what's up, Realist? I see you in the building.
The real one.
Shout out to Nate the Great Podcast. If you haven't subbed up to Nate, man, sub up to Nate the Great Podcast.
Yeah, make sure y'all drop y'all links, man. Don't be shy. We support one another. It's
Riders
free.
for life. I see you, Shorty. I see you, Rachel. How you doing?
It's definitely free. So let me ask you, and you can take it to the finances too. How do you feel about the topic?
I'm sorry.
I said, how do you feel about the topic from a financial standpoint? Like, if you pocket watching someone else, can you really focus on your own growth?
It's sad actually. It's not about being better than anybody else, but when you are, you'll see the difference and you'll see the gulf between you and others that's not like you when you start bettering yourself. And when you start bettering yourself, it's not even about you being better than anybody. It's just that you're bettering yourself. So it's inevitable. Some people are going to stay where they are. It's sad, actually. To become the best version of yourself, there's a period of time that we're all going to go through that is a separation of some sorts. And that separation, the people are going to kind of think you're high and mighty and you changing up on them and all those things. I got a meme that says, I didn't change, I just grew up.
As you was talking, I was thinking about something. I've never thought that. Even when I have never that thought never came in my mind. Like, oh, this person think they better than me. To be honest, I was just literally thinking, like, you know what? I've never had that thought. I never looked at someone and thought that, oh, they think they better than me. I've never thought that. I thought I've seen people like, oh, they think highly of themselves, but I never even looked at that in a bad way, if that makes sense. Like when I see people who think highly of themselves, to me, even if it's arrogance, I just see it for what it is. It's not a negative thought though, because I know people who think highly of themselves and they shouldn't. Like why would you think lower of yourself? Um, I understand the difference between arrogance and confidence.
Hmm.
I don't mistake the two. You can clearly see it when someone has built themselves up to a certain stature. They should. I guess if you say braggadocious or like a person is bragging, I can tell the difference from the confidence and people just stating facts, and then I can tell what people um, are trying to amplify it. I should say, when people try to amplify it, then it is what it is. It's like, okay, I see it. So, but I've never looked at someone like, oh, they think they're better than me. I've never did that.
I
Oh,
mean, when you see your boy, that was driving a Mercedes, he turns around and now he's got a Vector, he's got a Lamborghini, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, you just think you all that. Oh well.
but see, now I got a friend, right? Is my mama still on here? Oh, watch this. Mom, you remember Menzel?
Yes, I'm here. I just muted for a minute. I'm running around doing things. But yes, I remember Menzel.
Zell got a Lamborghini.
Oh,
And
wow.
see, my boy yeah, he used to drive his cousin's Porsche all the time, right? And people used to be like, oh, he think he the shit. Like, no, he is. He's driving a Porsche. and he'll tell you, "Oh, it's not mine, it's my cousin." But he didn't go to school. He went and he started driving trucks, and then he bought his own truck. Now he bought four trucks and got other people driving for him. Now he bought a Lamborghini. Uh, so I don't think that he think he the shit. I know he the shit. Like boy, he built himself that way.
That's
Uh,
right.
but
Good for him,
uh,
man. Good for him.
yeah, anything he always built his, and he younger than me. Um, but that was always his desire is to want, the material things. And he worked hard and got everything that he want. He got his trucking company. He got another company too. It's an appliance store. It's not a company, but he bought an appliance store. But he always built himself up. He put himself around the right people, learned from them, and replicated and gained similar or better success than they did. And I always admired that about him, you know. Always admired that. Like I said, I can't be the smartest person in the room. So I love being around people like that. Yeah. Well, I totally know what you said because sometimes people do things or try to achieve things uh, because of how other people look at it. You know,
Mhm.
and
I
when
mean,
they do that,
like the best version of yourself. I mean, if you've always wanted a vector, or you always wanted you know, a phantom, or you're a Lambo, or what, something like that, a cyber truck. I mean, that's the best version of yourself because that's what you can get if you're in a position to get that. It's not a wish. When you better yourself and you're able to do it. So I mean, when you level up, it's just sad at all the disconnect that's going to happen. You know, the disconnect. You're going to disconnect with a lot of people because there are a lot of envy, jealousy.
and that's facts, and that's why I learned not to really attach. I'm not going. That's gonna sound crazy. It's not the fact that I'm not attached to people. I just understand that people are in your life for reasons and seasons, and sometimes when that season ends, the person go away. So a lot of times, like when I elevated, it was people who wasn't willing to match or reach that level. Um,
Hmm.
and I understood it just wasn't for them, and I just moved forward. It's not that I look down on anyone. It's the fact that I'm focusing on me. And if that person can't match me, then it's not for 'em, You know, um, and, and I just learned to accept that because I'm not about to. If jealous, I can't have jealous people around me. Because once I know someone is jealous, then this thing is just going to occur. That's just in my own personal experience.
It's
When
a trip.
people were,
On that
yeah,
note, right there, it's a trip because when you do start to become a better version of yourself, like your title says, uh, you'll there are people that you don't even think are jealous and envious of you because you guys were in the same position, you know, and everything was fine, you know. But when you start to better yourself or become a better version of yourself, then you see because now you're not doing the same things that you always did. You're doing something different.
and that's all that.
And people can't get used to the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, why you going to school at night? We be going, this our club night. Nah, man, I gotta study for this exam. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to pass this test so I can, better myself. Oh man, what you doing, bruh? Man, we always do. I mean, come on, bruh. You tripping. Now you changing up on me, man. You go through that phase. I know I did.
Yeah, and Nefertiti, I think that'll hold people back too. Actually listening to other people. like, oh, you think you better. People will downplay themselves, or not reach, a certain level because they worried about what other people think. You know, um, that's just like,
That's
think
very
about
true.
like,
It's very
yeah,
true.
like when we talk about, like the black experience, right? If a black person used proper grammar, people would say, "Oh, you're talking white." I know people who will stop using proper grammar because the fear of someone saying they talk white. Like, no, talk the way you want to. That's like me. I can use proper grammar. I just choose not to. It's words I can say. I can say. Trying to think of a word specific.
Right.
I
And
can say.
Kalani, I got that a lot growing up. People used to say, "Oh, you think you're white because of how you talk and your language." It's like, no, I use proper grammar. I use proper English.
Hmm.
It's not that I want to be white. I mean, that proper grammar has nothing to do with being a different color, a different race, or anything. It's using what you were taught to use and using it in a proper form.
Hmm.
People would, but they took it out of context because you don't speak quote unquote hood language. I can be hood too. I can
Right.
go there in a heartbeat. I can
Right.
speak Yiddish and any other hood language you you want to bring up, especially when I don't want people to know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I use that
My mama
language in
say, I
there.
could tell you how a TI is.
Mm, you know, but yeah, it's and like you were saying about improving yourself. All of the things that I've done all of my life growing up. In the beginning when I had my kids, it was all about my children. I wanted to make sure they were safe. I wanted to make sure they had the best of everything.
Hmm.
So I did things to improve myself so that I
Hmm.
was able to provide those things for them. It wasn't that I moved in a house in the suburbs because I wanted to be better than people in the hood. No, I did this for my children. I did this for a better lifestyle, because I like to come home in comfort. Be it, my son would tell you, they thought I was crazy about 15 years ago because I spent $5,000 on a bed. It was like, you spent what? Yeah, because they'll tell you that's where I spend 98% of my time. When I'm home, like, I don't even eat in the kitchen. The only time we eat in the kitchen, or I would eat in the kitchen, is, during holidays or family dinner, something like that. Otherwise, I was in my bedroom chilling, watching TV or whatever. My living room furniture rarely got used, but I like to have comfort. I like to be comfortable.
Hmm.
So
You know,
that
example.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's a great example of you bettering yourself. You became a better version of yourself for your family for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You became a better version of yourself, and that's what I noticed that when I started to uh, grow up or go in different areas or the budget started to change. You know what I mean? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the people that I was around started to change.
Exactly.
I had to speak. I couldn't go into certain establishments and be like, "Yo, what it is, man? You feel me? What's happening?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Let me grab that porterhouse steak right there. You feel me? Like, hurry up and be quick about it, motherfucker.
Right.
You
Get
don't
my
talk
ish
like that.
together. Right.
Yeah, hurry up and get my shit together. Where my sides at? You know what I'm saying? But now you're more like, I'd like to get the porterhouse steak. You know what I'm saying? Medium well. You know what I mean? I mean, you just speak uh, based on your position, and when you change your position, you notice that everything changes, including your language.
Right. Right. And your surroundings. You adapt to
You
different,
adapt.
like
Well
you said,
said.
different areas you go into. I know I'm not gonna go in the hospital. Yo, what up, G?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's get that
Put
EKG done.
let's
Fire.
put yeah, let's put our peeps to sleep so we can. I'm not. People look at me like I'm crazy, even though I've seen people do that. Now I ain't gonna lie, and I'm looking like,
I,
really?
I did,
Okay,
I did, I did that. I had everybody in the OR saying, "What up, though?"
What up, though?
Everybody know. Every time I go in the OR, they be like, "What up, though?" Like, "What up, though?" The doctors and everything. Um, you know, I mean, certain like now when we went, that's because it was the comfort level too. But like when I
Right.
went to meetings, no, I
Yeah,
use
exactly. I
proper.
bet you when it was
When I
time
was
for that
representing.
promotion, I bet you when it was time for that raise or that promotion, you wasn't like, "Yo, what up, dog?"
No, but see, that's the thing. My supervisor, like the people, like when I went into a formal area, meaning like when I'm representing my department from, to outside people, then that's when I'd be professional. But the people who knew me, no, I wasn't being professional. I was being me regardless. Like in the OR, that's my home. That was the Batcave. Every time I
Right.
walked in, they'd be like Batman here. But no, that was the back case. So no, everybody. But when I went outside the OR, like when I was on the floors, like when we went to codes or other departments, yeah, now I'm representing something that's bigger than me. But in here, this is my home and my domain. So now I'm gonna be me. But definitely though, what you saying, and even like when we had events, going to the luncheons and the dinners and the award ceremonies. No, always I'm representing something bigger than me, so always use proper etiquette and decorum. Um,
I always felt like it was if I talked bad, if I went to certain places and I talk bad, I just feel like I'm letting my mom and dad down. You know what I'm saying? Like I shouldn't be talking like this. I know better in
Right.
in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know what? That's one reason why I talk like I do on here, because my son will tell you. I in everyday life, I it'll slip out cuss word every 5 words I say. It's like, oh, my grandchildren are around. Can't be doing that. I don't want them coming to me talking about, Nana, what kind of shit is this? You know, I'd be like, oops. And right, I can't
Oops.
blame them because I said it around them. So I try to lay off, but even on here, I know I'm representing my son, so I'm at a different level of respect. I respect him. He respects me. So I'm not going to come on here, cussing every other word or, cussing somebody out because of this environment. This is his thing. And they always say when you go out, you're not only representing yourself, but you're representing your family, your children, your people, your job, whatever.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I have the utmost respect for my son, so I'm pretty chill on here. I'd say now we sisters, we can get together, have a convo. Y'all really see the other side of Mama Word.
Mama word.
yeah, but I want to say this too for the replay supporters. Um, Never feel ashamed about bettering yourself, and if people who trying to make you feel ashamed for bettering yourself, get away from it. Get
Right,
away from those type of people. You do not want to be around those type of people because you elevate. They just want you to stay at the level they at. So no, those are the people you do not need to be around.
right. And a lot of times they'll throw a monkey wrench, so they're at a level better than you are. So you have to be careful of that too. They see you wanting to improve yourself, not because you think you're better than they are, but you want to do better for you. But
Fact.
they may look at it like, oh, she thinks she is, or he think he is that, want to be
Hmm.
better than me. I'm throw this monkey wrench in it, and you going back down to a level below me. So yeah, you
Right.
got to be very conscious of the people you do things with, the people you share things with, and hey, just do yourself, just be yourself.
I like what Neftiti said. I mean, there's a time and place for everything. It's a time and place for everything. Like you said, I
Uh,
mean, there was a way that you would act at work because that was just something that you were able to build, to where you could, kind of show a bit of your personality on something that you do like all the time. But like you said, when you go outside of your department and you're representing the department, you respect the department. Just like Mama Word says, she says, I respect my son respects me. You see how all of that is just like showing a better version of yourself? Respect.
Right. And Tay, I appreciate that. I just read your comment. I really appreciate that. But I'll be honest with you. You know, you guys are grown, just like I tell my son, but he still maintains a high level of respect for me. Don't swear around me. Want to come out every now and then, but he's very conscientious. Like, oh, that's my mama. Because I never I said one cuss word around my mother when I was 40 years old, and I got smacked in the back of the head so hard
That's
I almost had an accident, and the kids laughed at me. Come on,
I'm
oh,
sorry.
mommy got a
I'm
whooping.
sorry.
She got a whooping.
Hey, I was feeling loose sometime somewhere. I don't know. I
Right?
was in my
Yeah,
30s.
man.
I
A
was
man
in my
cut me
30s and
off.
it slipped. It slipped in front of my mom.
Yeah,
First
it,
she
it
looked at me.
slid. You know, I
She
almost
looked at
forgot
me
she
like,
was
what?
sitting next to me. You know, man cut me off. I'm like, motherfucker, what the fuck you doing? Next thing I knew, pop. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, mama got a whooping in her 40s.
I'm
I can
trying to
really relate
avoid
to that.
that
That's why
now.
I'm laughing. I can really relate to that.
So yeah, if y'all notice I'm not using profanity in my videos, that's just because I know my mom is either in the chat or watching the video on playback. And y'all might not see it, but yeah, I still get popped in the mouth.
And when you better, and when you leveling up or bettering, becoming a better version of yourself, whichever one you want to use, level up or better version, you'll you'll see, man, that you'll last. Your longevity is longer when you're moving in progression. You know, to better your, become a better version of yourself.
Right,
You keep on moving up. You just keep on moving up, and people gonna look at you, man, and they're gonna like think you're changing and you're switching up and you're disrespectful, you know, and it's just not true. It's just you're becoming a better version of yourself, making the necessary sacrifices in order to do so. But sometimes people don't understand that, and that just shows you where they're at, and that's the sad part.
right,
That
Make it go
you get
viral.
more
Appreciate
judgment
you,
and
sis.
congratulations for bettering yourself. You get more pushback when you try to become a better version of yourself. Get a little bit of
right.
pushback.
Because you know why you're doing it, but other
Mhm,
people look at it in a different way. You know, everybody has their own perspective,
mhm.
of what's going on and looking at other people instead of looking at themselves. You know, if that person is doing things to try to better themselves, hey, compliment them, help
Exactly.
them, push them, inspire them. Don't look at it like they trying to be better than you. They're trying to better themselves. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And shout out to MTGV. Welcome.
Hey James, do me a favor. I don't know if Miss V got a because I'm only seeing from StreamYard. Can you put that link in the chat? She's going live. I think she said tomorrow off that channel.
What's
Make
going
sure
on?
that
Make
link
it
is
go
in the chat.
viral. Salute to you.
Appreciate you, bro. James, appreciate you, bro. Uh, Ms. V, appreciate you. But definitely, the people who discourage you from bettering yourself, please stay away from them people.
Hey
And
James, it's
unfortunately,
Make It Go Viral Crime Podcast.
yeah, Ms. V. 'Cause sometimes those people may even be family members. You know, unfortunately, it may be close friends. But anyone who's not down with you bettering yourself, you have to get away from it because,
Right.
uh, like Mama said, sometimes they even throw a monkey wrench in it. You know, me personally, I don't like being the smartest or the most successful person in the room. Like Tay
Mhm.
said yesterday. Um, Tay said yesterday she liked being around people like that because it inspired her. And it just shows me it's levels to everything. And if there's another level to reach, I want to see it. Because a lot of times you don't know what's attainable either till you do it yourself or you see it done. So
Mhm.
uh, I love high achievers.
Me too. because you know that high achievers, they had to make some sort of sacrifice. They just had to.
Right.
Yeah.
All the time.
And you can see it, you can actually see it like in somebody, like the aura. When you're leveling up or becoming a better version of yourself, you'll notice that people, outside of your immediate circle where you're changing from, you'll notice that people start treating you differently, you know?
Yep.
And that's where that whole crab in the barrel stick or concept came from. A lot of times, like when you in poverty and you're climbing to get out of it, other people try to pull you back into
Man, you was preaching right, man. That, you already know. I'm about to jump out my chair here, man.
it.
That's exactly
Other
how,
people,
man.
you, other people try to pull you back down into it because they don't see themselves doing that. They don't want to put the work in, and they just believe that if they can't have it, you shouldn't have it. Those are the people who you need to be wary of. 'Cause sometimes, a lot of times, most times, they come with smiles on their face. You know, that's what I always say. I don't really care what people say. I watch what people do. It's the consistency of your actions that determine your character. To me, that's just my opinion. Like I said, are you doing the same thing in the light that you're doing in the dark?
Yeah, I just want to say to Tay, I felt you yesterday, believe it or not. I'm just reading her comments here. And, I sit back and I listen to people, the way they talk, the things they say, and just analyze it. And I could feel that you were holding back a lot yesterday. And I
Um,
totally respect you for that. You know,
But
be, well, go ahead.
but let me say this too. Yesterday, just like any day, those experiences only give us opportunity to learn. I mean, we learn from it. And when you learn from something, um, you move forward. So, uh,
Yeah, for our replay
you know,
supporters, I mean, this was a great example of Tay becoming a better version of herself, and respect being the centerpiece of that. You know what I mean? Because she had a lot of respect for not only the word and his platform, but she also had respect for Mama Word,
Right.
and her being up here, and she, that was just showing a better version of Tay Eats, to herself and to us, because her holding back was for us
it,
to see the type of individual that she was, but it was also her working on herself. But we could see that, and I think that's a good thing for our replay supporters to understand.
Right. And that's a good example of, things that I'm working on with myself too, because I don't let other people's sayings or, what they say, what they do cause a reaction in me. Because I use all the time, you say something, you getting something back from me. And, I've learned, and believe it or not, from my children, they always say, Mama, don't let somebody's actions cause a negative reaction in you. So that's something I'm building on, I'm continuing to build on. I slip up here and there, especially at work. I've slipped up a few times, like, who the hell you think you talking to? And, it's like, oh shit, I'm in work. But I mean, sometimes you can't. If it's like a natural response, somebody say something or treat you a certain way, like, what? Hold on, I got children older than you. Who the hell you think you talk? No, not me. I'm not the one.
Oh, that's my mom. Hey, she has not been in
Right.
that element for so long, but when she go there, it's just the funniest thing in the whole wide world. When my mom, it's just the funniest thing when my mama go there.
Right.
It's like, oh, this is really not the best version of yourself.
It's the other version, the other side. But I was a supervisor for many years and people respected me because I respected them. And
Hmm.
I had the thought in the back of my head, when this lady, she was not a supervisor, but a team lead, almost the same level. And the thing she was saying to me, I'm thinking in the back of my head, I don't care if you're a supervisor, advisor,
You get
but
this
you
work.
ain't gonna talk right.
You get this
You got
work.
the wrong one, sister. Hey, get your ish together.
But for our replay supporters, when you become a better version of yourself, the amount of time that it takes for you to get back to the best version of yourself is faster.
Right. And then that's what I continue to work on. Continue to work on that because
But you know what?
some
Not
people hit that last nerve you got and it ain't good.
But you know what I learned just speaking in general, not even on that situation, just in general. When people are doing things to get a reaction out of you, it's always better to respond because now you got control. That's how you
Right.
take control is by not reacting because a reaction is simply an action predicated upon a previous action.
That's
So
right.
to respond is to think before you act. So that's where I get in life. So anytime I feel um, an emotion of anger, um, or I feel like I have to get into defense, the first thing I do is analyze the situation and look at the intention of the person. And 9 times out of 10, the person is doing something for you to react to. So for me to take control of the situation and myself, I choose to respond. And that comes in different ways and forms. But ultimately, anytime you feel a person is doing anything to make you react, just go into a responsive method. Just take a breath, think, step back. Because what happens a lot of times is uh, the same thing as what we are talking about. You can be working on yourself. A person can see that and not want you to become a better version. So they do stuff to lower you or take you back to your previous self.
Right.
That's just like if someone was to come on here and I had an incident where a person or a person tried to, uh, I guess, I'm trying to think of the most pleasant, polite way to say it, where a person tried to um, show or expose me, I guess, to make me seem like I'm a fraud and attack my character. I simply just responded. I see what you're doing. I understand it. And you have your opinion. If you don't think I am what I am, that's you. That don't bother me. Um, you're entitled to that. But I'm gonna stay consistent because this is the same thing I do in the dark. I do in the light. So um, if people choose to believe that, then that's them. I can't do nothing about it. Nor do I care.
Right.
I don't want people around me like that. Honestly, just my personal opinion. I hope nobody take offense to it, but if you can't think for yourself, I just think you weak. Um, and I don't usually share my opinion about people, but if you uh, predicate your perception on other people's thoughts, then to me that's just a sign. If that was me, I would feel weak. I say it like that. If I looked at life or looked at other people in the light that other people present them in instead of the light that I observe myself, then I'm weak. I think that's a better way for me to say it.
Yeah, you're not showing the best version of yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's predicated upon my beliefs. I'm not even gonna say my beliefs. That's predicated upon the things that I practice. Um, like I said, the 42 ideas of my eye, I govern myself by that. Meaning those are the standards I hold myself to. So, and one of the things is when I speak, I do it with the intention of good. Anything that I say, my intent should be good. And that's just how I choose to live my life. If people
Right.
don't choose to live their life like that, I don't judge them. I don't think they're bad people. That's just what I do.
Right.
What I
It
do
just
is not for
because you
everyone.
realize that you wasn't always like that. That's where my mind goes when I see ignorance. I used to be ignorant. You know what I mean? I used to be immature.
I'm still ignorant. I use it. That's a
Still
superpower to
thinking,
me,
man.
bro. I use my ignorance. I swear, like I'm ignorant to failure. Um,
Gotcha.
I
Mhm,
use it. I
mhm,
don't. So in certain areas, I'm still ignorant. I'm ignorant to failure.
mhm,
I can't fail. I don't. Even when I don't achieve something, I learn
mhm,
from it. So when I do it again, I can be better at it. And I might not, it might take me 10 times to
Yeah.
achieve it. But
Yeah.
each time I don't achieve it, I'm going to learn. It's not a loss to me, it's a lesson. It's something that I
Right.
didn't do right. So I just got to figure it out.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what? And one of the aspects of improving myself and bettering myself in relation to my work and holding back, not saying what first pops in my head, but thinking for a minute, I
Right.
came up with a saying to let them know you're not going to get a rise out of me. Just like I was reading the comments and I'm trying to see who said it, Nefertiti, saying that people will try to get a rise out of you so they can say, see. So
See?
what I
Yeah.
say now, if I can't come up with a better sentence to stop them in their tracks, I just say, I'm gonna let you work on that, and I walk away. Cause then
Yeah.
that leaves them like, what she mean by that? Okay, you sit there and think about it. I'm gonna go back to doing Tina.
That's right.
And then, there's levels to it too, Nefertiti. It's been levels to it, Um, it's comical to me because I seen it happening before it happened. Um, and like I said, it's not the first time somebody tried to do that, tried to expose my character, or I'm a fraud, or I mean, it is what it is. If that's your thought process, good for you. It don't make me. You don't define me. No, not one person define me. Like I said, I appreciate everything from everybody. Anything anybody ever does for me, I appreciate it. Um, and the reason is because I don't seek it. I don't care for it. It's not something that I'm doing things for. I'm not doing it for validation. I'm not doing it for a pat on the back. No, I'm doing it because it makes me better. So when people recognize it, it feels good and I appreciate it. But if they don't, I'm gonna still be fine. I'm gonna still do what I'm doing. I'm gonna still grind. I'm gonna still work. I'm gonna still do all that. I don't need. Um, at one point in my life, I did need it pep talks, but if I need it, guess what? It's the people who closest to me that's gonna do it anyway. So, that's what I try to tell people. I don't know if y'all seen the thumbnail of the video. It's a quote by Buddha. I want to share it with you. I don't think I can pull it up, but um, it says the whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Never fear what will become of you. Depend on no one. Only the moment you reject all help are you freed. Um, and that's what we're talking about is validation. Um, I'm free. Because
That's right.
that's not going to motivate me. People saying I did a good job. People saying I'm doing it right. That's not what's going to motivate me. What's going to motivate me is me knowing that I'm doing it, and it's simple.
I know it's very motivating though, man. It's very motivating when people see you bettering yourself or becoming a better version of yourself. It's motivating when people see it and acknowledge that. That's a good thing.
And like I said, it's levels to everything. Um, it's levels to everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
it's not. Like I said, it feels good to see it. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I always said, I'm gonna be transparent as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, it do feel good, but it's not gonna make me go even harder. It's not gonna make me go softer. It's just people seeing the work that I put in.
Right.
Um,
I'm
you
saying,
know,
it's good because there's just that period of time that's kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, when you're bettering yourself, there's a yin and a yang to it, a ebb and a flow. And the sad part is that you're going to have to let some things go. And when you do, here comes the envy, the jealousy, the misunderstandings, the confusion, all of that. So, when you're moving to a different position for yourself and you got those people that are saying, hey, I see you. You you used to be cussing all the time, man. Hey man, you're dressing a little differently, man. I like what you're talking about. I like this conversation. I've never had a conversation with you like this. I mean, these are things that you'll see as you're bettering yourself. And that should make you feel good inside. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, not to let not to change you, but to fuel you to continue, because you are making sacrifices at the same time.
But it's fact. It's fact what you said. I ain't got no pushback against it. 'Cause like I said, it was it still is. Like I said, it feels good because, but at the same time, people that can be a vice of manipulation also.
That's
Um,
true.
and people will say anything. Like I said, there's always the consistency, um, and that's what I believe in. I believe in consistency. Um,
Hmm.
so, I mean, like I said, it do feel good when you get recognition because you putting in the work. You like you said, you sacrificing. I just tell people don't hang your hat on that, because
God
uh,
ain't through with me yet.
no, because I say it like this too. Um, like, and this is just what I learned in martial arts too. Um, like my Sinfu never congratulated me. He never applauded me because he told me, and I asked him one day. I said, "Why don't you ever recognize anything that I do good?" He said, "Because you're not done yet. When you finish, then I recognize it." And I said, "Well, how would I know when I'm done?" He said, "When you did." So I will never get recognition from him, and that's
man,
okay
man,
because
you
I'm.
know, man, you know what Pop's been telling me for 23 years. He says, just when you thought that you did everything that you're supposed to do to be better, realize at that moment you ain't done nothing, because you got time to sit back and think about what else you got to do. Thought that was a good point.
It is,
Been
you
saying
know,
that for 23 years.
and just I mean that's just like information, right? It's studying like religion, spirituality, especially history. Just when you think you know everything, you realize you don't know nothing. Um, that's why I tell people. That's why I am so um, appreciative when I see an elder um, open up and willing to learn from someone younger, because that just shows me that uh, the process is never done of learning. You have to
Facts.
relearn to learn or relearn to learn just to relearn to learn, and that's just life. Life always go give you a different angle um, to sometimes the same problem. You know, even when you think of death, you may have someone close to you die, and you feel that pain, but then you have someone closer to you die, and you feel even worse pain. You know, so you have to even that has different angles. Um, so no one truly, that's one of those topics. Like I can say I'm at peace because the closest person that passed away from me was my grandmother. Um, and honestly, before she passed, I didn't. I thought I was gonna hurt myself when she did, uh, but I didn't. It made me stronger, made me wiser, um, and I understand that there's levels to everything. Um,
Yeah,
so
your initial level was reaction, to react real, based on how you felt. But then when you became a better version of yourself, you thought about her legacy, and what she would want for you, you know what I mean? And it made you act different. Hopefully. You use that as fuel, hopefully you use that as fuel, you know what I'm saying, to propel you to get better.
yeah, when my grandmother died, it was it was shocking because I had just talked to her and
Hmm.
um, I didn't. Hold on, I'm trying to join on my phone. My little man woke up again, but yeah, when she passed, it was shocking. I went through a whole slew of emotions, but uh, it didn't do what I thought it was gonna do. It didn't break me. She
Hmm.
built me up for it. Not, my grandmother talked to me about death a lot.
Hmm.
So I had to understand it. But when it happens, you get that initial shock. But I understood everything that she said came to light. All the emotions, all the feelings, everything hit me exactly the way she said it would.
Hmm.
Um, and when it did, I felt like kind of prepared for it. And I looked to the next step. I had to make sure my mama was cool.
Right, right.
Um, and that's what I focused on. I focused on making sure my mom was cool.
Becoming the best version of yourself. That it's respect that helped you to do all these things. Respect. I mean, it's just the theme, and this is based more for our replay supporters and us. But you could tell how respect has a long way in not trying to look like you're better than anyone, but you're just becoming a better version of yourself because you respect something so much that it compels you to move in that manner. And that's a it seems like that's the bread and butter of better becoming a better version of yourself is your respect for doing so.
I'm very appreciate you, bro. Um, yeah, that definitely, definitely. And I would say this too. Don't even concern yourself with being better than someone else. If someone say that, just remember that's what their perception is. That's the way they looking at it. Uh, just become
It,
a better version of yourself. That should be your focus.
and it won't matter. It won't matter when you become a better version of yourself. It won't matter who thinks better than them or not better than them. It doesn't matter when you're becoming a better version of yourself because of your self-respect, a healthy self-respect. It blocks a healthy self-respect for yourself. It blocks out everything else because your goals are different. Now you're not about impressing the Joneses. Now you
Right.
want to just constantly be, keep building because you love you.
Definitely.
That's so true.
And that's the thing too. Even keeping up with the Joneses, like the celebrity lifestyle and all that. In my opinion, like Nefertiti said, what's for you is for you. And I mean, if I wouldn't look at it to try to replicate it, um, but I would say if you're looking at a celebrity and trying to be like that or gauge yourself towards that, um, reevaluate that. You know, and see if that was is more beneficial to you. I guess that's the
Pause.
best way to say it.
Pause. Pause though,
So
man. Come on, pause, man. Hold on. Because I ain't gonna do it front. When I got it, I'm be the neighbor to the superstar. I'm gonna live in that area. My dad. I mean, hey, it doesn't matter, man. I mean, I'm going to be in Bel Air if I can live in Bel Air. I'm going to Beverly Hills if I can go. Living there,
you you know what? If that's your desire, that's what's up. You know what I'm
I
saying?
want the biggest house on the block. You know what I'm saying? I want castle.
If that's your desire, I used to want that until I started doing real estate, and I sold $1 million. It was $889,000. The house was actually worth 2.5 million, but that's what
Right.
it sold for. It was going, what was that, 2017? Um, but when I like the maintenance of the yard itself was 3K, right? And the
Mhm.
maintenance on the electric bill by itself of the house, I think it was like 800 a month. And I'm like, hold on, bro. I pay $25 to get my my grass cut, and I pay like under 150 for my lights. Like, nah, I'm straight. And then, I looked at it and I understood it wasn't my desire because I wanted it. It was something that I seen people have, and it made them. And I thought that's what success was. So that's why I wanted it. It wasn't because it benefited me. It was because I seen other people happy with it. And once I recognized that, I reevaluated everything. You know,
We had such a small apartment, and then we had such a small house, and it's always small. Everything was little cars, and I want a big old house. I want a big old car.
Right. Those are dreams. But dreams can become reality though. So,
Mhm.
I'm not knocking it at all. But,
And then we
like
had
my son
rats and
said,
roaches, so I don't want to be around rats and roaches no more. You know what I'm saying?
man, I know what you mean.
We were so small that everything was cramped. You know what I mean? And we just, man, I want a big old castle when if I can get one. I want some room.
Right. Like my son said, when he was selling real estate and, he saw everything that it costs to maintain something extra large. When I'm looking for a home, I looked at all those things and I'm like, Because he'll tell you, I'm not one to live above my means. I'm not going to work to pay bills. That's just not me. I
That's
mean, I
right.
had a hard time. He'll tell you, I was so cheap. I was driving a 2006 Pontiac Grand Prix, and people looked at me like, "You making all that money? You try? Dang, sure is, because I ain't got to worry about no car. Nope. It
That's
took me
true.
took me
That's true.
6 years to
Learn
buy
that one.
another buy a car.
I
I was
feel
like,
you. You can
hey,
relate to
I'm
that.
because if something go down, I want to take 3 or 4 months off. I'm not worried about paying no car, no the house, no.
Mhm.
I'm good. I nope.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
that's like when I got my like
If
when I
I
go
can
look for
afford
a
it, though,
house.
if I can afford it, Mama Nancy, I mean, excuse me, Mama Word, if I can afford it, every year I'm getting the upgraded version of the car I'm driving every single
Oh
year,
yeah.
and I'm just leasing it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry about nothing, and I get more advantages to leasing, but people don't even know that.
Yeah, I used to lease years ago, and there was an advantage, but this year I broke and bought a brand new vehicle, and it's within my budget. I make sure whatever I do, is within my budget. But the leasing is a good thing.
Mhm.
Years ago I did that, and
And it was my rich,
for
and
for a couple years.
it was my rich boss that was like, "Man, I know you probably think I buy these cars cash."
Mm,
And I was like, "Yes, sir, I do." And he was like, "Nah, man, I just lease."
right. Gets an upgrade a couple years later, a year later.
You
Like,
know
man,
my
every
thing.
year you got the same, man. You always got a fly car, bruh. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I just don't want the same thing no more. I don't want to pay for none of that. And you get a lot of perks in leasing. And he taught me. He taught me all the perks of leasing. It's actually better than ownership sometimes.
Yeah.
And my things with vehicles is I grew up working on cars, so I like to buy stuff and customize it myself. So um,
Good for you.
yeah, that is a hobby. Um, so yeah, I never really cared about a new car. You can give me an old one with the frame and the body in good condition. Oh, I'm gonna soup it up.
Stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm a customizer. I'm gonna do the interior. I didn't paint, but I get it. I create what I want. I see it as a canvas, and that's how I look at vehicles now. My wife not like that,
Hmm.
but even when I do the maintenance on the vehicle, so um, I don't like paying for people. I don't like paying for things I can do myself. Uh,
Hey man,
yeah,
let's get off. Hey, see, that's why I want black people to have money, man. So we don't have to have these type of problems right there. Just pay the mechanic. Just
no, that's
pay
not a
those
problem.
extra
Hey,
bills. You
hey,
know.
mom, put your mic on mute. Mama, put your mic on mute. I don't know where you at. You in the elevator or something?
In the elevator. Oh no, that's the microwave. All right, I'm
Oh,
mute and I'm
yeah,
running
that
around
was.
doing stuff. Sorry about that. I thought I was muted.
Yeah, I am the mechanic. Well, I'm gonna pay somebody for. I'm a carpenter, bro. I'm skilled. I'm very skilled with my hands. Very skilled. I don't like paying nobody for nothing that I can do myself. That's how I'm gonna teach my kid. I understand what you're saying though. It's things that I can't do. Like we getting a swing set for my son. I'm not going to install it because I'm not digging no trenches and I'm not doing all that. So I'm gonna pay somebody to do that. Even though I can do it myself, it'll just take me. If it was a smaller swing set, I'd do it myself. But it's not, so I'm gonna pay someone to do it.
That's what
Um,
I think I meant it more in that vein.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But the things
definitely.
that you can do, you know what I'm saying, you should do.
Yeah, yeah. The thing I don't pay for haircuts. No, I do it myself.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not anything that I can do. I'm not. I don't see the point of
I,
paying people for
yeah, I feel you, man. But
unless I'm.
like when we became a supervisor or whatever, and I had to deal with the finances and get to work early and leave late. You know, I ain't gonna front, man. My dad taught me how to change the oil and everything, man. But I don't change the oil no more after I, started moving up. At the job, I was
And,
like,
and
man, I just paid Speedy Lube.
and doing stuff like that keeps me humble too. And then it keeps me fresh where I can teach other people to do it. I can't even tell you how many times people call me like, "Hey, can you do my brakes?" I tell them like, "Yeah,
Hmm.
come over." Right?
Hmm.
They're like, "How much you gonna charge me?" Oh, and this is like when I used to drink. I don't drink no more. I tell them to bring me a beer. Right? Bring me a beer and a blunt. I do it for you. And when they get here, I have them do it. I teach you how to do it, and that way you
Hmm.
won't have to ask. Only thing you have to do is go buy the tools and stuff. You'll never have to pay somebody for it. I understand. If you
That's
got it,
what's
you
up,
can pay
man.
out of convenience.
That's what's
When you
up.
got it, you can pay out of convenience. But um, unless I'm pandering someone, like I'm trying to, support someone's business, nah, I do it myself. Like
Hmm.
when we took over, uh, when we took over this house, it was some whole. It's still stuff I'm working on, but me doing the floor under my condition, I couldn't do it. So I paid a family friend to come in and do the floors and the kitchen and the bathroom. Um, all the other stuff I done did. Like I'm not doing the roof. I'm gonna pay somebody to do that. But no, I'm not paying people to do stuff. I can do myself. Like I said, it keeps me humble too. And it's that's what I do. I like using my hands, especially with me losing my sight. It gives me confidence, I guess,
Hmm.
doing stuff that I used to do. So it's therapeutical. It's
Right.
therapeutic for me
That's
to do
right.
it. So you always have to find things. Ultimately, you're responsible for yourself, for your growth, and for your maintenance. And it's up to you to find what works because ultimately, only you know what works for you. There's
Hmm.
different things that'll work for different people. That's why I like having these conversations and people joining me in them. It's so appreciative because, like I said, the way I may do things may not work. But if I get multiple people up here giving different experiences and different ways they accomplish things, we can offer more information to the people. And ultimately, that's what I'm trying to do, is to share and receive information. So, um,
Hey, listen, Letitia. Hey, could you highlight Letitia's comment, please? Last comment, please. Come on, Letitia. That's the same thing. Am I wrong? Word? Am I wrong, Mama? Word? Letitia, that's the same thing. I'm not big on brands and materialistic stuff, but I do have some quality preferences to certain. Like, come on, man, I'm a poet.
but,
That's
but no, because look, I tell you like this: what she's saying now, what she's saying is like the name brand. She don't care about the name; it's the quality. So that's
Right.
different, because like say Under Armour, I love Under Armour not because of the brand, but the actual quality of the material. I will
Hmm.
pay for quality. I don't care about the name. I rather like when it comes to material thing, I rather have my own name on it than somebody else's.
I'm on that.
Um,
I'm on that. I sell hoodies. I feel you. I sell customized
so
hoodies. So yes,
and I,
I
I
sell my
think
own clothes.
I think in today's society, the material world, right? So when we talk about materialistic things, is more geared on the name and not the quality of the material. Um, so it can be a high price name and the material is trash and people will still pay top dollar for it instead of
Mhm.
actually buying the material. Like The same factory that they make Jordans in, they make a whole slew of different other shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and for cheaper. It's the same material, but what are you gonna pay for? The name first or the material?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the confusion is. If it's a quality product, I'm all for it because that's what I'm paying for. I rather buy something expensive and it lasts a long time than cheap and I have to keep replacing it. But I also rather buy something that's cheap and it lasts longer than the name on it and I have to keep replacing it.
No,
You
I
see what
feel
I'm
you,
saying?
man. I understand that, man. It would be hard for, I mean, based on what you're saying, it would be hard for me to buy a Jaguar because I know, just to do simple things to it, it's going to probably cost more than the car during the lifetime of the vehicle. So
Oh
That's
yeah.
why
it makes
that's
sense.
why I never bought like a Mercedes. Miss
Mhm.
April, what up though? Appreciate you. That's why
Hey,
like
Miss April.
Hey, Miss April, salute.
when I learned like the cost of maintenance on a Mercedes, I'm like, I'm straight. I get a Chevy. 'Cause the material, what I gotta, I mean, because I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, the Mercedes every 30,000 miles, they have an issue with this, and the part I'm looking at it like I got to get it imported. It's not worth it
Right.
just to say I got a Mercedes. Nah, I just rather buy a Chevy and hook it up myself. You know,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
get comfortable with things that other people desire. You know, um, that don't come from me. That's their desire. And a lot of times, I just feel in society, we gauge success off of other people's perception of it. And that's why I say I don't get too high, I get too low. I don't need validation. I don't need none of that. Like I said, it feel good. I'm not gonna lie, it do because you putting in work, and when somebody see it and recognize it, it do feel good. But if you need that, then I don't believe you can truly be successful because it's not gonna be there all the time.
I agree. Well said.
So I think you should depend on yourself. Ultimately, you should have that self motivation first, and then allow things outside yourself to motivate you. But you gotta have that fire desire in you because guess what? When ain't nobody around you, you got to put that work in. How you gonna get up and do
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's exactly how I think.
it? So, so that's how I rock with it. And a lot of, and that's why I say like the experiences. That's why I tell people never be ashamed for what you've been through. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Never be ashamed because, especially if it made you a better person, even though if it might have been embarrassing to go through some things, but if it made you a better person, how is it truly embarrassing? It's things that I've been like. I tell you stories like I've been hoodwinked by females. I've been hoodwinked. Females got me. I'm not embarrassed about it. I learned from it. It made me a better version of myself. I had to go through it. If I didn't go through it, um, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So our past is for us to learn from, for us to grow from, for us to become stronger from. Um, don't allow people to use your past to hurt you. Um, and if it is things in your past that you feel have negative feelings or emotions about, revisit them. And because I think there's a lesson there that you haven't learned yet. That's why you got those negative feelings. That's just my opinion, though. But I think the things that happened in the past, if you still have negative, those lower emotions, I think they're still there because you haven't completed the lesson. Once you complete the lesson, you'll understand it for what it is, and you're able to move forward. That's how it worked for me. Um, yeah, that's how it worked for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that is so true, son. Because actually, I don't know if you realize it, but you taught me that. You know, mistakes that I've made in my past, don't dwell on them. Don't revisit them and, oh, I messed up. I shouldn't have did that. Think about it and move on.
mhm,
Because you can't change the past, but you can better your future.
exactly. You know, um, And that's a lot of these conversations. Like I said, all these conversations. I'm not even gonna say a lot. All these conversations are things that I learned. My own personal experiences, and some of them are new. A lot of them are older, but uh, we're constantly. I'm constantly trying to become a better version of myself, and to do that, I have to learn from the experiences. But I've learned a hack or a cheat code. You know, I can learn from other people's experiences also. That's why it's important to listen to people. You know, there's no point of. That's why I always say there's no point of judging, because when you judge, you determine if it's good or bad. Um, and sometimes it's hard to extract the information um, out of a situation when you already deemed it good or bad. Because if it's bad, then you just put it in that column. You know, it's bad. Stay away from it. Don't do it. But even the bad things you have to learn from. That's why I tell like people like Christians, right? Um, learn or at least be aware of the other side of the spectrum. You know, like I did an episode on the seven demons of hell or the seven kings of hell. It's always good to learn the adversary too, because now you understand how they attack you and how they come at you. If you don't learn that information and just think it's taboo and I'm not supposed to read into that, ultimately those things will affect you. You have to know your adversary. You have to know your enemy. So that's why.
Man, I so agree with you, man. There is no testimony without a test. It's in the word.
Right.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
and that's why I tell people like be open to criticism. And the reason I say that is because even if it's all negative, you understand how you can be attacked, and you just understand how better to defend yourself. That's why I welcome criticism, constructive criticism, because it just gives me an opportunity to learn how my adversary will attack me. So you can take something for every bad thing, something good in it. That's the whole yin and yang aspect or concept. For everything good, something bad happens. For everything bad, something good happens. I told the story about the gift of life patient. We had a young lady come in. She died, you know, so we had to take her heart out and put it in another boy's chest so he can live. You know, we lost a young life, but her dying um, extended the life of another young person. Um, that concept of like just doing that in a matter of hours, you know, it really gave me a deeper understanding of life. Um, and I just look for the positive things in the negative situations that I was in. A lot of times it was just a lesson or the experience itself. Um,
Hmm.
you know, just like when I was saying about faith earlier, you know, we say we have faith, but when things happen, we ask God why instead of looking or understanding why it happened. You know, we feel that we're not supposed to go through things, but we go through them for a reason. It's just it's up to us to figure it out. You know, and sometimes, especially in the moment, it's hard, but it's necessary. That's just what life is. You know, fair and unfair is two different ends of the spectrum. You know, you go get one of them. So um, that's the one thing. A couple things guaranteed in life, um, and bad things happening is one of them. You know, it's go happen eventually. So understanding and being aware of it, it can help you navigate through it better, or even accept it. You know,
Smash
other
that
people.
like button if you haven't. Smash that like button if you haven't, man. You know what I'm saying? Sub up and spread the word. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, y'all.
There
All the
you go.
people in the bushes, everybody that's doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? And hit his cash app. You know what I mean? Support the word.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, much appreciate the support.
Yeah, we and it's always good to show gratitude. Because like you said, like I said, I don't need the recognition, but it's appreciated. And I think that makes me more grateful, not seeking it. So when it comes, it's more organic. You know what I'm saying? And I can be more grateful for it because I know people don't have to do it. Yeah, I don't look for people to do it, and I understand they don't have to. So when it happens, I'm more grateful for it.
Right.
So sometimes, I mean, I know when I was saying that it sounded negative, but you see how it works better for me. You know, I don't look for people to support me. So when they do, I'm more grateful for it. So it's not the fact that I don't want people to do it; it's the fact that I would rather allow it to happen organically, and no one feels pressured. No one feels like they have to, and they know when they do that I'm genuinely grateful for it. It's not something that I expect anyone to do. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think people, tomorrow is the holiday. Um, I didn't think many people would be on. I expected maybe three, four people come in. So to have over 10, and, we reached 18, 20 people at one time. Um, I'm just grateful, because y'all can be doing anything, but y'all rocking out with me, and I appreciate that. And like I said, it's organic. There's nothing forced. There's nothing pressured. You know. So people just here because they want to be here. That's the thing too. You should want people around you because they want to be, not because they feel forced. Not
Right.
Right.
because they feel obligated, but because they want to be there. That feeling right there is 10 times more better, than trying to force something on someone, or and especially, what we doing, because the way we hold these lives, and uh, it's not help. I mean, it's not what's going to get into the algorithm. You know, my lives ain't gonna be an algorithm, and I'm okay with that. But
Y'all spread the word, man, so we can change this man's help him become a better version of himself tonight, y'all. Let's come on, get him in the algorithm.
oh, Nefertiti, somebody dropped Nefertiti's link. Um, yeah, because I think that's good. And one day, hopefully, we can. Because that's my biggest thing too, is expectation. I don't do expectation. Um, on no level, not even with my wife. I don't expect nothing from my wife. So whatever she do, I'm just more grateful for. It's standards that I have, and I guess that's a form of expectation, you can say. But if she don't live up to the standard, I understand. Um, it wasn't intentional, because she understands my boundaries. I understand her. Um, so if she don't live up to a standard, I know it's not out of malice. So that even makes me more understanding. I appreciate you, Miss April. I really do. That's humbling. That's truly humbling
Hey,
because, like I said,
she got me. She got me as well.
yeah,
Salute to you, April.
yeah,
For
that's
real.
truly humbling because, like I said, knowing that, it just tells me I'm on the right path, and
Hey,
I'm
shameless plug. Make sure y'all sub up to Lovey. Lovey Star Beating. I just gotta throw that in there.
yeah, because that in itself, it lets me know I'm heading down the right direction because, um, I analyze everything before I jump into it. I research it, and I try to understand it. And when starting this, I seen a lot of positive channels, but not in the sense that, I'm taking the direction of this channel to. It was more of teachers or people coming on here, giving their wisdom and knowledge. And I guess I'm doing that, but the way I do it is in a method where I'm sharing, and I'm receptive to opposing opinions. I don't see that a lot. where people actually open to people going against what they're talking about, and it just gives me the opportunity to describe it in more detail, my understanding, my philosophy. It just gives me the opportunity to learn if I'm doing the right thing, because sometimes um, we so headstrong on what we know, and we realize that what we know is not the right thing. Um, so I would rather be corrected
Maybe not
now
the right
than
thing,
later.
just not the complete thing, because we're constantly evolving, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's just not the right thing though. sometimes sometimes it's just not the right thing. Like I give you an example. Um no, I can't give you an example. But like just for me to think that my way is the only way, um, that's not the right thing, you know. And I've learned just from having these discussions that there's many ways to do many things, and it's different ways to get it done. I learned that from various people. I learned that from you. You know, um, and it's just being humble enough to accept information. A lot of people, like I said, sometimes people, sometimes people just think that there's only one way to do something when there's multiple ways. And when you find out there's another way, sometimes people can't let their own personal way go. Um, but even then, just because of other ways, it's just being aware that it's different ways to do different things, I think. Um, But like you said, it's levels to it. So even that, even the way I explain information, Cat Daddy come on here and explain the same thing in a different way, and sometimes to me it sounds 20 times better than the way I explained it. And it's not me going back and forth with him. It's just me accepting that it's another way to say it or do it. And I think once we recognize that too, like this is my whole concept. Like I always talk about the spider web. Um, so when you let go of validation, when you let go of needing needing to be right all the time, or needing your way to be right, you recognize that you can get to the same goal on different paths, and you're open to that, especially when you're trying to be a teacher. If you go to a college, you'll have X amount of professors in the same field, and they all teach a different way. So no matter what professor you go to, you can still get the degree. You find a professor that resonate with you more. Um, the biology teacher I had, no one wanted him. I loved him. You know, I just resonated with him more. No one understood
Mhm.
that. Oh, he a horrible teacher. It's like, no, he a great teacher to me. That was my dog. I was like, I love this dude. The way he breaks stuff down, but people didn't like it. People felt they couldn't learn from him, but I did. He just taught a different way, and his way was perfect for me. It wasn't perfect for everybody, but it was perfect for me. Um, so you just learn that, and humility has been one of my greatest tools. Is being able to accept the unacceptable.
Well, I applaud you for that.
Yes. Well, I'm about to jump down. I got a lot of stuff to do here, but blessings to the chat. I'll still be down in the chat. And a salute to everyone.
Salute to you,
Appreciate
Mama
you.
Word.
All
I'm gonna
right.
jump
Appreciate
down
you.
as well. I'm gonna get ready to do some more stuff around here, man. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
I really appreciate it, man.
No problem, bro. I appreciate you coming up rocking with me, helping me out. The little monster was going crazy for a minute.
Hey, y'all,
Appreciate
it's your boy Kalani Management, the Y2K show, man. Check out my channel, man, if you haven't. And we'll see most of you at our next live. But y'all continue to spread the word, man. Smash that like button. Thank you to everybody that's in the building, man. And let's grow this network. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, I just I'm still on two phones. I mean, two things. But definitely, I think the biggest thing that I wanted people to know is when you competing with other people, you take the focus off yourself. Um, you take the focus off on your own personal growth, and a lot of times you'll try to match what another person is doing, and sometimes that can be beneficial, sometimes it can't. But if you focus simply on yourself and working on yourself, that is almost 100% guaranteed to always be beneficial towards you. So only be your own competition and never allow anyone to determine your value or your worth. You know, a lot of times when you better in yourself, people not gonna like it, and that's understandable. It's fine. Um, Me personally, it don't bother me. It don't shake me. It don't move me. It don't deter me. I understand it for what it is. You know, most of the time it's because if they can't match that level, they try to pull you down from it, and the only person that can honestly allow that is you. Miss April, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Of course, I done woke up and there you are.
You know,
Yeah, I
when
look
you
forward to your shows every night. I only sleep 4 to 5 hours at a time. I slept a little bit later. But I wanted to say, you know, I look forward to hearing you every night. You know, the 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 messages are always great. Uh, you and Nate, like y'all my nighttime people. And I'm so glad. I'm just appreciative to have y'all young cats to listen to. You know, your mom did a great job with you.
I
Well, your
appreciate
parents, your mom and dad, uh, and then she's supporting you. So that speaks for itself. Um, I saw where a person they was like I was about celebrating these holidays. Um, as I got older, I was like, shoot, all these holidays they were just made to, for money, for money day, to spend money, because basically that's all you do is spend money. Valentine's Day, you buying candy, gifts. Easter comes around, you're buying Easter baskets and people getting so creative. But then I thought, well, if we didn't have the holidays, what would people do? What would they do? So I started looking at it like that because some people probably wouldn't even get together, or, it's nice to see the kids, trick or treat. But I used to really be, once I got older and was like, oh, these holidays ain't nothing but a money thing. But now that I think about it, it is a time for, time for kids to have fun and families to get together. So I started looking at it different. Yeah, that's all I wanted to chime in on. And I said, most people, we know Easter has nothing to do with with the Easter bunny or eggs. But it's nice for the kids, to get up and they had their little Easter plays and dress up and then come home, change clothes, and hunt for Easter eggs. So I had to start thinking positive about that because I was on that for a minute there. Um, and that's all I wanted to chime in on. But I used to really be um
It's,
hmm,
and see, you know what I've learned. You show me a holiday, I show you a holy day. Um,
right.
you show any holiday you show me, I can show you the significance of it in a different aspect.
Oh
So
yeah.
what we, so like for those who, um, you know, who are looking for those holy days versus the holidays, I will tell you the spring equinox is the manifestation season. This is the
Hmm.
season where rebirth occurs, and that's in nature. This is something that we can observe, something our ancestors observed. Um, and unfortunately, they found a way to commercialize holy days, and make a profit out of them because it was something that we naturally did. Um, so they found a way, and like even the stigma of the Easter bunny and eggs that comes from a Mesopotamian understanding of Ishtar. Ishtar was the fertility goddess, and fertility is represented through bunnies and eggs. So even the origin of why we do the ritualistic practices, I've I've I have knowledge or understanding, but I don't share that much because I don't want to be disrespectful to no one's belief system.
Yeah.
But the people who do ask, we do got that knowledge, and
Hmm.
that's why I made a second page too. So that second page are gonna be for people who want to know. Um, I guess guess facts or origins. You know,
Hmm.
but like I said, is I don't want to. I practice the 42 ideas of mod, so I don't disrespect no one's beliefs at all.
Oh, I
I
don't need it. Yeah. Whatever you serve, hey, that's on you. Yeah. I respect all religion, but I know for one, I was just giving my opinion on, for one while, you know, that's how I was. But hey, it is what it is.
yeah.
Mhm. It is what it is.
And see,
Uh,
that's another device they use for separation too. We find so many. I ain't gonna say we find, but it was so many tools and devices used to keep us apart. And our belief itself is one of those things that keep people separated. Um, so that's why I don't bother anyone's belief, especially if it's making them a better person. Like I tell people, if you believing in unicorns make you a better person, believe in the unicorns. You know,
oh,
that,
ain't that the truth?
that's the ultimate
Ain't that
goal,
the
right?
truth? That's what I say. If you worship a dog, I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as it's making you a better person, exactly.
Mhm.
And that's
But
the
I
goal,
know,
really. I'm sorry.
I know, like for Thanksgiving, and I know doggone well the Indians, the origin of that, but unfortunately, the way the world is set up, well, the way the people in the world set it up is you get Thanksgiving off. It's always on a Thursday, and then you get the Friday, and you get the Saturday and Sunday off. And most times it's a paid holiday. So Of course, that is a time that everybody can get together. So um, you don't have to necessarily celebrate the version of Thanksgiving they want us to, but just a family get together. Yeah, but I had to start just thinking the positive
Hmm.
out of everything, and so because I was on that bandwagon too, and I just started saying, you know what? Let me just find a positive because you know everybody gets these days off from work, and so just make the best of them because that's the way the people in the world have set it up. So,
And you know what I do? Like with Thanksgiving, because I have native blood, so we don't do Thanksgiving, but we do Reflection Day, and that's the time of the harvest too. So that's really significant to us. But we reflect on, and I understand that anything that was created, you know. So I can do the same. So uh, we
hmm
we created our own holy day around Thanksgiving. So that's our reflection day. We reflect on what we've been through the year. We show gratitude, and we share that information with one another while we feasting. You know, while we enjoy the harvest that we collected for Christmas. That's the solstice. That's the death and rebirth of the sun. So with that, we show appreciation. So for the 5 days of the solstice, you know, I give my kids gifts for each day. Each day represents something significant. So I created my own holy day. I used uh, the foundations of the ancestors, but I incorporated my own understanding to it and made it beneficial. So my kids don't go without. You know, I can still. We pay. It's more of homage than celebrating. Um, but you know, our ancestors created these holy days or had an understanding of them, so we can do it too. Even though that
hmm
some of that information and knowledge was taken away from us, we regained it, and not only can we re-implement it, but we can make it suit our needs now. So I implore, you know, for those who um, feel that way, you know, just create your own. You can do it.
hmm
Nothing is stopping
Yeah,
you. The only thing stopping you is you.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I actually I helped my girlfriend uh, do Easter baskets for her kids, and it was nice um, to make your own baskets and put your own things in there, and we wrote out little cards for the kids for them to read, like do well in school, make good grades. Well, it was nice. Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, it was nice.
And
But
Tay,
I
I
do,
don't. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
because I used to, at one while, I was like, I ain't getting ready to do all of this stuff no more. Well, we put our own spin on the Easter baskets. So, yeah, it was nice putting them together and putting in little messages from different people. Yeah. Mm,
And Tay, I don't celebrate any holidays. I pay homage on Pacific holy days, and one of those holy. I mean, all four cycles of the solstice and the equinox. So you have the winter solstice, the spring equinox, the summer solstice, and the autumn equinox. All of them have different meanings. So I pay homage, and then things like Juneteenth, I recognize it. I don't. The whole concept of celebrating something, like even birthdays, I don't celebrate. Like my birthday coming up, I don't do nothing. I sit back and reflect. That's part of my manifestation cycle anyway. So I don't celebrate no more. I pay homage, and I go into I guess a form of recognition, but that's still paying homage.
Mhm. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. Like everybody gonna do their own thing, and then just like I say, I just be mindful of everybody, and
Hmm.
I respect what they do. Um, and that's all I was saying. Yeah. So
And that
yeah.
that's that right there is important, because I believe everyone should do anything and everything possible um, to enhance their experience while they're here, because you only get one life. So
Mhm.
you should do everything that you humanly possibly can um, to fully experience life. And if that's celebrating holidays, do it. Um, a lot of people do it because of the family gatherings. You know, some people do it because of the actual day, and what it means to them. So I recognize it. I don't, like I said, I don't knock nothing. The only thing I don't like, and I'm just sharing this, and I usually don't share this. Well, yeah, I do. I'm lying. What I don't like is when people, like I said, I respect everyone's experience. I just don't like when people try to tell me I'm wrong about the way I do stuff, because, like I said, everyone should do whatever they can to enhance their own experience while they're here. So a lot of times people want you to go along with what they think or
Yeah.
feel because it make them feel better. Um, and I don't like that. Then that's when I come with the academia.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when I gotta hit you
Yeah.
with a couple facts.
Yeah. And then
Oh, she dropped off. She'll probably come back up. But yeah. So yeah, Tay, I don't celebrate anything. Most of the holy days, like I said, I understand a lot of the ancestral practices, so I do that, but I incorporate my own. So because I get kids, so I don't want to take the whole and even the winter solstice. Most people recognize as Christmas. The other kids are going to have a Christmas around them, my nephews, my nieces. So not to expel that whole experience from 'em, I created my own version of Christmas, I guess. But I used ancestral practices to do so. Like I said, anything that was done, we can do it. It's just our choice.
yeah, I done start celebrating Kwanzaa too. You know, but like I say, everybody can do whatever they want to do. I respect everybody, and like I say, the way the world is set up is, you know, the way the people in the world have set up things. Like you might get the day off or something, so you can create your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and it's a day, it's a paid day off. Hey,
right.
it's a paid, it's a paid day off. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just how I look at it. I respect anybody else and how they look at it or whatever. It's a paid day that they done gave me off, and so yeah, I'm gonna be happy that I done got a paid day off from work and the day after, and how I choose to celebrate it'll be my business. Yeah. So, but yeah,
and
one while there, I was like, I ain't giving these people no money, and then it was like, okay, let me rethink this. And so, like you said, um, we start incorporating our own things. So
Definitely. I think
yeah.
that's some because that gives you it gives you pride, too. Because a lot of times, I mean, with I don't know how this is gonna be received, but all these holidays comes from everywhere except for melanated people. All these holidays do. They don't come from melanated people. Not the holidays, but the holy aspect of it or the origin of it. They all come from us. That's why I say they took what we had and regurgitated it in a way they can make money off of it.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
G Grateful, I love when he in the chat because he gives me a lot of clarity. And you absolutely right. Homage is respect, and there are things that may need respect today, though. Too, I'll say that much. And you're right. That's why I pay homage every day. It's just
Hmm.
it's the intent
Yeah.
behind it. But every day, I wake up and I pay homage to the Creator and the ancestors. Every day at between the hours of 12:35 and 4 o'clock, I go outside and I pay homage to what is known as the sun, the great sustainer, um, and I bask in the glory of the light. Um, that's something that I do every day. I guess that's my ritual or my practices. But definitely, every day is a day to pay homage, to respect to something. Because, like what Rilla said, he celebrate every day he wake up with air in his lungs, and that's fact. Every day is a gift.
No, I tell you. Oh, good God Almighty! Every time my eyes wake up, like I'm just, man, I'm grateful because it's just so many people that have left this world that I know. Like, oh my goodness, yeah, yeah, yeah,
And,
and just being black and living is a gift because man, it's they want to take us out. So, oh yeah, I'm grateful. I ain't never. The older I get, the more grateful I am. And yeah,
and
I get up and I'm happy. I'm happy and I'm
exactly.
grateful. Yeah, yeah. I do like shoot a meditation when I get up, and I just thank him for allowing me to still be here. Uh, so yeah, I'm grateful. Yeah,
And what was I seen something I was about to respond to? Um, it represents our
yeah. I don't see the
holidays.
comments.
Um,
I got.
it, I would say the concept of holidays is different from holy days. Just like the concept of paying homage and praying. Like our ancestors never prayed; they only paid homage, and the reason they paid homage is to be thankful because everything that you think you may need was already given. We knew that, so we didn't have to ask for anything. We already had it. It was up to us to bring it out of us. So that whole concept of prayer, the whole I'm not gonna yeah the concept, the ideology of prayer is to ask, and we always paid homage because anything we ever needed was already given, and we were just thankful. Um, so it goes on the lines of that of holy days are what we recognize, and the people who had to externalize everything and then understand that everything was already within had to use the concept of holidays. Christmas is not what they really say it is. Was the birth of Jesus, but of someone else I found, so I can't play with that one. All right, now, are you talking about Baal? Is the birth of Baal or Midrath? I can take you. It's four different pagan for conversational purposes. Four different pagan gods. Even Saturn. Saturn was born on the 25th of April. Baal was born on the
I
25th of
was
April.
trying to start like
Nature.
some
Yeah.
argument or debate.
Oh
I
no,
was
no,
just,
no, no. No,
yeah,
you
I was just stating, because what everybody does is their own business. You know, what you do is your own business. How you choose to live your life and how you choose to celebrate. Don't nobody have to answer to me. I was just making a statement on. I used to one while there. I got into. I'm not gonna do this no more. We've been doing this and no, unfortunately. Oh gosh, my cat just. It's like I said, everybody was off work on a certain day, so we incorporated our own things, you know. And so it's the way the people in the world have set up things. You like I said, you get a paid day off. I'm not trying to start an argument or debate or what somebody should do or what they shouldn't do.
oh
Yeah,
no, oh no, we just sharing information. No, there's no
yeah,
argument or debate. Anytime we bring up a topic, like I said, it's always good to have difference of opinions, and I welcome them because
yeah.
that's how we learn. So
Uh-huh.
no, it's no argument or debate. We were just
Yeah,
talking about Christmas and the different understandings of Christmas and. It's like G Grateful. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but this is a brother who know the scripture. He
oh,
knows the scripture. So for him to say, what he's saying in the chat, the uh, different reasons or the different people who were born on there, I think that's significant because, um, a lot of people, like once you study the word, you know the word. The word becomes a
right.
part of you, and that's what this brother represents. That's why anytime I'm having dialogue and he graces my chat, I'm always interested in what he say because a lot of the understandings I have, he have, but he's like Kalani. Kalani is a Christian, but me and Kalani have discussions about philosophies of the Bible all the time. Um,
Mm,
so yeah, it just brings clarity, and that's how we learn. That's how we get exposed to information is by
yeah.
the contrast of our information.
Hmm. Yeah, and all people can do is they can just teach what they wanna teach. Like you know, yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's
Yeah.
why I try not to teach because
Or or
it
or tell their story or everybody can pay homage to their beliefs and their respects or whatever they believe in. Yeah. So
and Tay, you
yeah.
didn't it wasn't the fact that you said the wrong word. I was just
Wow.
giving a different interpretation of the words and the significance of it. But no, I mean it's and that's another thing I study is entomology, is the creation of words. So like I'm really keen when I see words, like I kind of break it down to the Latin root. Like every word I see, I break it down to the origin of the creation, what was the original purpose of this word. So even when we say pagan, pagan is a Latin word, pignos, which means from foreign land. It has nothing to do with religion. So now when they use pagan, I understand why that word was
Yeah.
created. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, even philosophy like this, right? Check this out. So you have definition, like when you study entomology, you learn of not only the meaning of the word but the structure. So like when we say racist, racist is a bad word, right? Like if a person is racist, that's bad. That's how we're taught, right? But it's actually not, because if you look at the construction of the word, ist means proficient, meaning you're well informed about something. Like you have a dentist, who works on teeth. You have a violinist who's proficient in playing the violin, a pianist. But when you put it behind race, it becomes a bad word by definition. But the construction of the word simply means you're profound in your race, meaning you know who you are. You see why they turned that into a bad word? Now, racism, ISM, is a class. So that's bad
Mm,
because you're putting one race over another race. But being racist, it just means by construction,
mm.
not definition, but by the construction of the word, it means you're proficient in your race, meaning you know who you are.
Yeah, in my family, I got every religion. We got Jehovah, we got Muslim, Sunni Muslim. Um, well, not I shouldn't say every religion or whatever everybody practice. We got conscience, we got everything, and Lord knows we do not get into any arguments or anything. We just respect everybody and keep it moving. Yeah, yeah.
I'm I'm a student of the late great John Henry Clark. I don't know if you know who that is, um,
Mm-mm.
but
First,
I
you'll need to install Twitter.
but I adopted a philosophy of his that he don't debate, he only educate and inform. So even when it comes to like people trying to debate on information, either I'm gonna learn or I'm gonna educate, or we just go
Right.
have a discussion. I'm not I'm not debating no more. I learned my lesson the hard way. Almost
Mm,
I was debating a Christian,
yeah.
a young boy, and after the debate, he almost took his life. So now I learned from that experience. So I choose not to. It's a choice, conscious
Mm-mm.
choice that I
Yeah.
battle with all the time because sometimes I swear I'll be wanting to get into a debate, but um, even when I choose to uh, have an opposing view, um, usually I'm more informed and can get the information, or I just listen, and learn. Sometimes it's just, I've learned that even though I'm right, sometimes it's just not. Um, I don't have to. Uh, I don't have to show that I'm right. I can just be quiet and accept things for what they are because that's that person experience. I try not to, you know, say things that's not impactful. So if I know a person is looking to argue, there's no point in me even conversating with them.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I was saying. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, everybody does things their way, and what they respect and believe in, and so I just, you know, I just respect them all. Yeah. So
And
yeah.
and and be grateful that's all facts. We may not, and that was one of the hard things I had to learn, especially like with family. He G Grateful said, "We may not always like what other choose, but let them have it." You know, uh, and
Right.
and
That. Yeah.
I've learned that the hard way. Trying to redirect people or try to guide people, and that's not what they wanted. And a lot of times, people just uh, you like I said, I try to be impactful. So if I
Yeah.
understand I can't be impactful, I don't bother. It's a waste of my time. And
Yeah.
that's, I guess, self control and discipline that I
Yeah. I
developed over
know. I
time.
said at the start of 2023, I was not getting ready to be fighting with folks and all of that. You win. Whatever you say is right. What I mean, y'all win. Cause just uh, you know, just always trying to argue or debate. I mean, everything is up for debate, whether from going to school to homeschooling. And so I was just like, wow. Um,
Yeah, I got to get with Leticia about that. Um, Hey,
yeah.
Leticia, you said you off next week. She's actually homeschooling her kids, and she go get some information to that way. If
Oh
people
yeah.
are,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So
Oh,
if people are,
Leticia, I commend you. Oh, I commend you so much for homeschooling your children. Oh wow. You are awesome. You are beautiful. You are amazing. Boy, oh man, that is great. That is great. If I had kids nowadays, I would be homeschooling them too. Ooh, thank you, Letitia.
I had a
Thank you.
I had a family friend. His son graduated college with a bachelor's degree at the age of 16 from homeschool. So I see the
Mm-mm.
benefits. I see the benefits in it, and he still played sports and all that. So uh, I think that's a good tool because of all the problems we're having in our school system, and people think about it, but they don't have enough information. So hopefully, um, we can put that information out and get people over the humps or the doubts, to see if it's for them or if it's for not.
Yeah, well, there's too much. I mean, first of all, you gotta pray your kid make it to school safely, and then they gotta sit in the classroom worrying about if somebody's gonna shoot shoot them, shoot somebody else. Like that's a lot of pressure to have on a child. They're supposed to go to school to learn.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that's
Leticia, you great. Yeah.
yeah. We didn't
Not
have.
saying teachers aren't great. If anybody's a teacher, but to homeschool and do that, th- that takes a special person. I mean, you have to get up, you know, and have structure. That is awesome. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
So
think that can be beneficial. So, because I plan on homeschooling my kids, my wife giving me pushback on it because she want them to have social experience, and they get that too, because we do it in groups. It's a group of people who've been doing it for the last 10 years that uh, I used to help with math and teaching self defense. So I thought that was cool. They implemented self defense in their homeschool curriculum. So that's something that I've seen the benefit in. That not only do you have to, I think I don't correct me if I'm wrong, Letitia. Is it state requirements, but you can also implement other things into it. Um, so I think that's a good benefit.
hmm
And you,
yeah.
you don't limit your children to what they're access to, because in structured institutions like school, you only limit it to what they want to teach you. Homeschooling, you can open it up, and start giving them the tools that only not only make them better workers but actually better people. And I think like financial literacy, that's one of the things this group teaches at a young age. So a lot of the uh, kids that's like in third, I think they started in third or fourth grade, they learning financial literacy, and they have like little things like lemonade stands, and uh, they sell different things, so I think that's important too. Every state is different too. Yeah, that's what I believe. Like I'm not doing it yet, so I only know what information people told me. But I remember I ain't been around it in 3 years, not actively around it, but I'm still acclimated with the people doing it. So I remember them saying it's state certifications that they need, like a not a state certification, but state requirements that they had to do certain at a certain level, and it was required by the state. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah.
but that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's nice that you're able to do that too. Yeah, man, that is great. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, every state is different too. Every state really is like living in a different country.
Yeah, yeah, the laws and the
Yeah,
providences.
the laws and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's like yeah. So and that's why I tell people when you move to another state, you better research it because it ain't the same.
hmm
Um,
yeah.
it, it's not the same. I know when my grandmother moved here from Pennsylvania, her social security changed, and that was because she was no longer a resident in the state that she worked and was paying taxes to. So Pennsylvania was taking taxes, and Michigan was taking taxes from her, and I didn't know that. Like, wow, that's something I learned.
Hmm.
Yeah, this system is crazy. It's not meant for
Yeah.
people. Um, it's not meant for the average person to become wealthy. Um, but the more we learn it, the more we can learn how to navigate through it and benefit from it. That's what
You
most
got that
people
right.
do. Yeah, you just gotta
Uh,
learn
hmm.
it. You just gotta
Yeah,
learn it.
yeah, because everything that's out there, they created it and they use it. We're like so behind on everything. Uh, they weren't gonna share that knowledge with us. Like all these different housing programs and everything out
Yeah,
here.
man, it blew my mind when I started doing real estate. I'm like, hold on, you can get free money. Like, hold on, how you? And I was
Yeah,
trying to,
they give you money to get a house, and then you could be the filed a bankruptcy
hey,
and
that
still get a house in
is
3 years.
and still get a house. And you know that's when my blackness came out. I'm like, hey y'all, I got the hookup. Come check it out. So I tried to share that information with everybody. Young RZA, what's up? What's up, young RZA? And yeah, I tried to share that information with everybody, but people wasn't they weren't open to it. So um, that's the sad thing. With a lot of information that I tried to share, uh, it was other groups of people, other races came and willingly accepted it. You know, it was the most pushback I got was from people who look like me. Um, but I'm seeing a change in that. I'm seeing a change in that. So that's refreshing. Um, I just wish I could benefit them more. I was in a position that I was 10 years ago to benefit them. You good, Rizza? That's always good to hear. That's always good to hear, brother. That's another young brother who got a lot of wisdom for his age. I think,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
his outlook is similar to mine. The way he look at life. Um,
Oh, okay. That's great. Yeah.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
love. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just say I love the way you young people, um, you know, the way everybody is, you know, they're doing their own thing. They're taking what they believe in and what they know, and you know, just doing it. I respect them all. Yeah. Hmm. I respect them all. Yeah. Oh,
So let me ask
well, I just got up here. I don't have nothing else to do. I done help make a few Easter baskets. I'll be up till 4 or 5 o'clock. I'll try to find some free movies to watch. Mm, Uh, watch a lot of free movies on YouTube or go to Netflix. Does anybody have any movie recommendations or?
I haven't watched a movie. I haven't watched TV in a minute. There's a whole bunch of things that I'm backed up on. Um, so I
Oh,
haven't. I think no. I watched Black Adam the other day. I watched Black Adam. I did watch John Wick 4. Free movies, realist. I don't think John. Well, it's free. I get that. Now I'm be quiet.
oh, okay, John Wick 4. Yeah, that's with Keanu Reeves and the dog. Okay, they done made a 4. Oh, okay, yeah, I like that little series. Cause he
Emancipation.
three three he sort of walked away or didn't do what they told them to do. They looking for him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, snap. Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, yeah, thanks for that. I didn't know they had a John Wick 4. Is it it's in the movies, or I can rent it
I,
on Netflix
I think it's
or
still in the
Carry?
movies. I think it's still in the movies. I believe
Oh,
it's still in the movie. Emancipation by with Will Smith. Have you seen? I haven't seen that yet. I don't know. I can't watch some slave movies no more. It's
yeah, I'm done with the slave movie.
ain't that what that
Watching
is? Is that
somebody
a slave movie?
running from them, but we can't forget our history. But yeah, um, I get a little angry when I watch them type of movies. So
And I believe that's why they make them. Honestly, that's why I don't watch them no more. I believe that's why they. I mean, it's so many things that draw on our emotions, and I understand, and that's up for, I guess, perception. But
right,
I don't anything that I can't control my emotions on. I let it go, and that's one of the things
yeah,
I'm still learning. I'm still growing. So maybe one day I can indulge into it again. But it's like I get an hour in, and then I start getting pissed off,
yeah.
and then I'll be looking out, and then when I go to the store, I'll be looking at everybody like they be like, "Hi," I'll be like, "Nah, fuck you." I can't. So
Ain't that something too? Yeah, I can remember. I don't know if you guys ever saw Roots. I'm probably the oldest one in
yeah,
here. I
I'm
am
like.
60. But when that came out, in I think it was like 1976, and that first show, like all us black kids, when we went to school, we was like ready to
Fight.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm telling you, all those things are almost everything. Um, anything to see, this is why I try to teach emotions awareness or emotional intelligence is because anything that's put out on a radio or TV um, is used to draw your emotions. Uh, anything that you watch or listen to is go have some type of emotional influence, if it's good or bad. Think about the music back in the day. It used to make you feel good, but now it make people angry. Uh, just like the TV shows, we used to have the Cosby Show. Um, we used to have like what is it, a different world. All
yeah,
those made you
different.
feel good about yourself, right? And now you got shows depicting us in a negative way, like gangsters
Mhm.
and thugs. So it's just drawn on a different
Yeah,
emotion.
I don't want to see brother against brother and all of that other kind of stuff. But I guess to some people, uh, I don't know. Like, is there really any black family mafias actually doing the thing? Cause I don't know any of them. Everybody I know ended up in jail or dead. So yeah.
Nefertiti, Nefertiti appreciated you, sis. I hope you have a wonderful night. I appreciate you coming through, rocking with us. Information you put in the chat is always, always, always appreciated. So thank you again, sir. Miss Tracy, how are you? Good morning. I didn't know it was 4:30. I just looked at the time. The time is by the comment. I'm like 4:38. But
Oh, it's 3:39 a.m. where I live at. I'm in Central Standard Time, so I don't um so I don't even know what time zone you in. You're an hour ahead and I ain't trying to think shit. I don't have
I'm in the
mm-mm.
east. I'm in the
Oh, okay.
I'm in the east.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 139 in Vegas.
In
Oh my
Vegas.
God. I went to Vegas. I finally made it to Vegas. and I had so much fun. But if I didn't go back, it wouldn't bother me none. Mm-mm. I saw it. It was nice. The hotels were beautiful. Um, it was nice. But shoot, Vegas will break your butt too. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it'll definitely break you. We got our own little Vegas here in Michigan now. We got three casinos downtown, and we got Canada. We can go across the bridge and more casinos. So,
Yeah, we
yeah,
have two casinos here in Joliet. We had the Harris and oh, it used to be the Empress. I forgot what's the name. They just rechanged the name. Yeah, I don't go to them. I used to go to them when they first opened. Uh, Actually, it used to be, we called them the boats because they used to go out on water for 2.5 hours. And sometimes I be done lost all my money before the anchor hit the ground. And I had to sit on that boat broke and disgusted and worrying about how I'm going to get my money back that I had lost. And, mm-mm, yeah.
and GJ, that was the importance. Just even that melody. That gave you power or strength. Just you know, uh, the music is different now. This is you have to go search for that uplifting music. You know, and watching the evolution of it and what's popular now versus what was popular then. I can see the conditioning and the desensitizing method, so I don't
Mhm.
indulge in it much. Like usually, when I watch movies or listen to things, I have to tell my subconscious this is a form of entertainment because I don't want to get emotionally attached to it. So, but that's the importance of understanding emotions and how you are affected or influenced by different things outside yourself. Because what we're
Yeah,
supposed to do is take what's inside of us and share it with the world. But a lot of times, what we do is take what's out in the world and put it inside of us, and that changes us sometimes. Um,
yeah.
all right,
And
Mama.
that
Yeah.
that that's why they um that's why they don't even want to air Bill Cosby shows because they was positive for black.
hmm
So
What was
yeah.
that too? The Family Matters. That was my junk too. And
Oh
Steve
yeah.
Urkel made me. That's what got me into science. Was Steve Urkel, his experiments and stuff. That's
Hmm.
why I got into science. So those things were motivating us in a positive way, and they seen that. They seen the influence it had, and they understood that they could manipulate it. Once they got you hooked on something, then they um, turned it into something else. So you got to be careful of what you indulge in because if you're not aware of the potential of influence it has, um, you can get blindsided by it. Like I
Yeah,
said,
I want to see more realistic movies, like you know, people that have overcome things and uh, you know they
yeah,
made it. Yeah,
that's why I like
and
that
they still
movie.
live. Not everybody. I'm sick of all of the drug dealing movies and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, like that was the only way that blacks made money was selling dope. No, no, there was some people that made some good investments out here. You know,
It's like two of my
but hey,
favorite.
that's my opinion. You know, I'm just rambling on. Yeah.
Yeah, two of my favorite movies are The Pursuit of Happiness and The Story of Madam C.J. Walker. I think those are two awesome movies. Um,
Mm.
Madam C.J.
Oh, okay.
Walker.
The realist said they wanted a reboot. I done got my other device on so I can see the comments. A reboot of Good Times. Yeah, yeah. I liked Good Times, but um, I ain't gonna say it. I'll just keep that opinion to myself. Yeah.
But you see how they twisted the First Prince though? How they incorporated that violent element, the black violent element into it. Because he was just supposed to get into a fight, but now they got him toting guns and shooting. Like, man, that junk crazy.
Oh,
but
they got like a new Fresh Prince.
yeah, it's on Peacock. I think Peacock is free too. I think it's a free version of Peacock. But yeah, they got a new Fresh Prince. I think it's in the second season. My wife watched it. But yeah,
What?
when I first seen that, I'm like, why they have to do it like that, bro? Like they ain't have to do all that. I mean, they made it. I don't know. Like I see it as entertainment, but some of the directions they was going, I didn't like it. Uh,
Yeah, and did anybody watch Moesha?
yeah, I used to love Moesha. Mo to the
And
E
then
to
remember how
the
they changed where they found out the dad had another child or something like that?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like what some people say they try to make it realistic, but no, like no. My father didn't have any outside kids. Like no, yeah, but some did. But and not saying it's nothing wrong. I mean, children are innocent, but it's like, why do they always want to change the dynamics of our families?
yeah. Yeah, that I don't agree with a lot of that. But that's I mean, honestly, for us to change that, we just got to get our own. We got to write our own stories. We got to stop letting people depict who we are and depict ourselves. Um, and we got to. You can do it on YouTube. You can start a series on YouTube. So we got the ways to do it. We just got to do it. We got to stop accepting things and create our own. Just make it our own. Just like I was telling you how I do the holidays. There's no point in me complaining about it. I just make my own. Make my own holidays. In a way, it benefit me and my family.
Exactly. Tell
I don't.
tell yeah, tell your own story. Tell
Hmm.
um. Well, I would invest in something if somebody was really serious about doing their own show.
Yeah, that messed up Moesha when they did that. Yeah, but that's what I say. We we think that's why I try to talk about. Like I said, I can talk about a slew of things, but um, I want to change the way we think because I noticed when I changed the way I thought, it benefited me. And I didn't
Hmm.
understand the way I was thinking. I didn't know how conditioned I was and how desensitized I was until I started changing. And the more I changed, the more I understood. And when it first occurred, I'm shaking everybody like, hold on, bro, that ain't the right way. That's the wrong way. And then um, I started getting pushback. And when I got the pushback, I started thinking, am I doing the right thing? And I understood, everyone has to what they call wake up. I call it being aware at their own time. And I can't force it. But when it happens, I want to be there to help guide and direct. So that's one of my purposes. Here is to help translate information.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Well, like I say, I like coming into y'all shows. Um, late night is the word, and Nate, because I'm a night person. Like I say, uh, I take a lot of medicines and stuff. I got a lot of health issues, but I'm still here. I'm still here, and I just like to share my thoughts on the way I used to think about some things. But like I said, um, you know, everybody was created differently, and everybody is gonna think differently. And I respect everybody. You know, I just respect everybody. That's what I learned. Everybody's views and opinions. Hey, I'm not getting ready to walk around here with high blood pressure and all of this things. I respect everybody. So and you'll be more peaceful. Hmm. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And that's what I'm learning. How to maintain that peace. And like you said, one of the tools that I use is respect. Just have respect for everyone. Everybody. I look at people as puzzle pieces. We all different. You know, but if you put the pieces together the right way, you get a beautiful picture. You know, you just gotta see where each piece fit. You know. Uh,
So you say on YouTube you can start like your own show. I guess that would be nice if somebody started on. Yeah.
it's people who do it. You ever heard? I'll be watching Skin Bone. You ever heard of Skin Bone? Is that his name?
Mm-mm.
Skin Bone. Yeah, it's this. He out of Chicago, but they do like comedy skits and they tell stories. And it's different, skits like 15-minute skits, but it tells a story. Like if you watch it, or Courtney Wayne. Are you familiar with Courtney Wayne?
Mm-mm.
Or Country Wayne? He do the same thing. He got his own series where he has a storyline, and it's like maybe 5-10 minute videos. So it's possible people are already doing it. You know,
Oh,
um,
okay.
they doing it. Those two people I mentioned though, they do more comedy. You know,
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
yeah, they do more comedy, but it's people already doing it. So he became a famous comedian from Facebook and YouTube. He just started doing stand up comedy. And they was giving
Oh,
him pushback like he ain't a real comedian. He can't do stand up comedy. And the dude funny. I've been watching him for like 2 years now. Country Wayne, yeah, he got like nine or 10 kids.
wait a minute. I think I have heard of Country Wayne.
Yeah, Country Wayne. Yeah, I like shout out to
Yeah.
Country Wayne, man. I
Yeah.
watch. I'm actually. I think I haven't watched him in a couple weeks. I've been trying to learn different things on how to work this. I think I'm about to start using Streamlabs too. I seen people using uh, StreamYard and Streamlabs simultaneously, and it looked kind of dope. So I'm trying to learn how to do that now. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
different. Yeah, I've been. You always like we say, you got to better yourself. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you and Nate and then wake and bake sessions and everything. So y'all, where is APTV? Um,
I don't
well,
know. He gave.
he do a
I didn't.
lot. He do a lot of uploads. Okay.
Yeah, he came through here a couple times. I ain't seen. I want to sit down and talk to that brother. I'm interested. I don't do like interviews or nothing. I like to do builds. But there's a couple people. I don't know. I try to make topics to draw people in. Uh, but I might have to link up with that brother because he got some information that I want. I like the way he think.
Right. Oh yeah, you guys coming up now. let me tell you something. Y'all some free thinkers. Yeah. Y'all I love it. I love it. Like, you know, can't I like the way y'all think. Yeah, coming up. So it's great. Much respect to you, young cats, young bucks, and young women, and young ladies, and everything. Yeah, it's great to be able to have a conversation with y'all, um, young people. So, and I do the same thing with my nieces and nephews, uh, and my cousins' kids. You know, I have a great relationship with with a lot of them. Um, a few of them, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I always
Mhm.
appreciate dialogue with the elders. There's always information to that y'all be dropping gems. So I always appreciate these conversations. Let me ask you a question, Miss April, because you said something earlier. You said something about roots. Before that movie, did your parents ever talk to you about slavery?
Oh yeah, my parents were from Mississippi. My grandmother was a a a slave owner child.
Your grandmother was a slave owner child.
Hmm.
Oh, that's
She
deep.
was the outside child.
Oh, if you don't mind, one day I would love to have a,
Oh
show
yeah,
of
I
that.
can tell you the story of my grandmother. Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
think. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a show on that one day, Miss April.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. They come out of Chula, Mississippi. Um, down there in the Delta, and my grandmother, she used to tell me stories. I have one great aunt. She is 99 years old, still in her right mind, and she still tells stories.
Oh man, I would. I know it's probably not possible, but I would love to have a conversation with her. That, oh man, that's why I love talking to elders about, because we get so many different stories, through these movies and through books that a firsthand account is more informational to me. Um, Yeah, because yeah, when I asked my grandmother that, well, what my grandmother told me? She said we wasn't no slaves, we Indians. That's what she always told me. Uh,
Hmm. Well, do she did she have any record of it? Because you can
and
still get money for being an Indian.
yeah, we my tribe wasn't recognized,
Oh, okay.
not from my grandmother's side, but my grandfather's side it was. Uh, but it's so many, yeah, it's so many different things that they try to do. Uh, but yeah, that's just always interesting.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that story one. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, um, that's why a lot of people left the South and moved to the North because they got tired of the stuff that they experienced in the South. Yeah, so
Yeah, we definitely
yeah.
gonna have to link up and do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna drop on down from here as usual. I was like, oh wow, hold on. Okay. Um, as usual, I like to come up and talk, um,
Yeah, you know
be
you
on
always
the
welcome.
panel
Hey, you always
and
welcome.
learn from y'all and everything. So thank you for always letting me come up.
Always, you always got a spot up here on the panel with me. I appreciate you.
Okay. All right.
You have a good one. Happy holiday.
Okay.
Nate, I just want to rock. Man, my daughter loves that song, bro. She get the shaking her little body. I'm like, that's the only song she danced to. Is that little Uzi Vert? I just want to rock. And she be shaking back and forth. I'd be like, don't start twerking. We're gonna be in here fighting, bro. Uh, yeah, she ain't even allowed to show legs. But yeah, I think this was a good conversation. Appreciate everybody who came up and blessed me on the panel. My mom, Miss April, Kalani. Everybody know, man. Don't be afraid to hit that link and have conversations. Um, if you got a difference of opinion, that's okay. I'm not here to debate or argue. That's more than welcome. Um, but it's not about being better than anyone. It's just about being the best version of yourself. Me personally, it never benefited me attempting to be better than someone. I never benefited from it. So that's why I always use the understanding of complimenting versus competition. Um, People you feel you have to compete with, just be mindful when you're competing. Um, it should be healthy. You know, if you got to do things that go against your morals and values, then it's no point in competing. Me personally, I just don't do it. It's just better for me to work on me and become a better version of myself. It's not the fact that I feel I'm better than anyone. It's the fact that I know the work I put in to become a better me. If you're around people and they're giving you pushback on becoming a better version of yourself, my opinion is you should get away from them. Anyone who cares about you should want you to become a better version of yourself. And the people who give you that pushback, a lot of times it's because they see you reaching things that they can't, or they're not willing to put the work in to reach. Those are the people who will constantly hold you back. Um, no point in having them around. There's no benefit. So if I can leave y'all with anything, this is what I say. Don't worry about being better than anyone else. Just worry about becoming better than you were yesterday. But that's all I got for y'all. I appreciate everybody coming to rock. I know it's the holiday tomorrow. And for y'all to come spend time with me, I'm just grateful because you didn't have to. Y'all know what I always say: care about how you feel. And these conversations is what build nations. But that's all I got. It's the word.